It was supposed to be just another glamorous night in Atlanta. Sparkling lights, red carpet snaps, and Rasheeda rocking yet another flawless look that had fans flooding her socials with fire emojis. A gleaming, but behind that picture-perfect smile was a woman unknowingly standing at the edge of emotional destruction. Because while Rasheeda was busy filming her newest promo and gushing about family loyalty in a heartfelt interview just days ago,
Jasmine,
Kirk Frost, her husband of over 2 decades, was allegedly slipping back into the shadows of a past no one expected him to revisit. And this time, the betrayal wasn't just whispered in the halls of gossip, came with photos, messages, and one witness who says they saw it all. That witness, none other than Jasmine Washington, the same woman who once shook the entire Love and Hip Hop franchise with her bombshell claim that Kirk fathered her son. Just when the dust had finally begun to settle, Jasmine re-emerged with events, receipts, screenshots, social media, video clips, and a timeline that didn't lie. She says Kirk came to see her alone at night, and what happened next, she swears, wasn't a mistake, it was a choice. Now, rumors are spiraling out of control, fans are in full meltdown mode, and Rasheeda, sources close to her say she was blindsided. One insider spilled exclusively that Rasheeda collapsed in tears when she found out, and hasn't spoken to Kirk in days. And if that weren't messy enough, their oldest son Kai was allegedly caught in the middle of a screaming match between his parents that had neighbors calling security. What exactly went down between Kirk and Jasmine? Is this the final straw for Rasheeda, or will she once again try to hold together a marriage that seems determined to fall apart? Buckle up, because this story has twists no one saw coming, and the truth, however painful, is about to come crashing down in the most explosive way possible. Stay right here, because we're diving deep into the scandal that's tearing the Frost family apart and sending shockwaves through Atlanta's reality TV elite. This isn't just drama. This is betrayal, heartbreak, and maybe, just maybe, the beginning of Rasheeda's ultimate revenge. It started with a whisper, the kind that dances through the corridors of fame and fortune like smoke, hard to catch, but impossible to ignore. Rasheeda was glowing just days before, promoting her new fashion line at a high-profile launch party in Buckhead. Cameras flashing as she stood beside Kirk, hand in hand, the image of unity. But behind that picture-perfect moment was a storm, gathering strength. Word on the street said Kirk had been seen leaving a late-night spot in Midtown. Jasmine looking too familiar with someone who should have been left in the past. Jasmine, yes, that Jasmine, the very woman who once detonated Rasheeda's world with a baby and a betrayal that nearly destroyed everything the couple built together. For years, Kirk and Rasheeda fought to recover marriage counseling, public apologies, teary confessionals, even awkward family therapy sessions broadcast on reality TV. And fans watched them rebuild. Fans rooted for them. But it turns out, while Rasheeda was healing, Kirk may have been reopening old wounds in secret. At first, Rasheeda dismissed the rumors. People love drama, and she told a close friend during a private lunch at Toast on Lennox, they see me happy, they see my brand winning, and they want to tear that down. She laughed it off, but there was a flicker of doubt in her eyes. And that flicker turned into a full-blown wildfire when an anonymous DM landed in her inbox. It came with 2 grainy photos. One of Kirk in a hoodie and ball cap outside a lounge called Vibe District. The second a blurry but unmistakable image of Jasmine's long curly hair, her hand brushing against Kirk's arm. Still, Rasheeda wasn't ready to spiral. Not yet, but the timing was off. Kirk had told her he was out of town that weekend handling business in Charlotte. When she zoomed in on the photo, the street sign screamed ATL. Then came the call. Jasmine's voice was calm to calm. I'm not trying to start nothing, she said. But I think Rasheeda deserves to know the truth. Rasheeda froze. Why are you calling me? She asked, her voice trembling but steely. Because I thought we moved past this mess. Jasmine's response was chilling. That's what I thought too until Kirk showed up at my place and didn't leave until 3 in the morning. The next day was chaos. Rasheeda confronted Kirk in their home. No cameras, no scripts, just raw rage and heartbreak. Why her? Tell me the truth, she demanded, shoving her phone in his face. Kirk, were you with her? Kirk blinked, startled but not speechless. Rasheeda, it's not what you think. Claiming that Jasmine had been checking in on some things and deserved a reward at her place. But Rasheeda wasn't buying it. She yelled, her voice cracking. She snapped, You think I'm stupid. The argument escalated. Their son Kai overheard it and reportedly tried to intervene, only to get pushed aside as Kirk stormed out of the room, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the walls. The family was left fractured. Kai, caught in the crossfire, was seen later that evening driving away from the house with his headphones in, eyes puffy, jaw tight. Rasheeda didn't post for 3 days. That silence was louder than any tweet. Fans flooded her last post with
Jasmine
comments.
didn't hold back.
Please say it ain't true.
Hours
Girl,
after
leave
receiving
him.
the car,
Rasheeda deserves
she went
better,
live on Instagram,
but it got worse.
showing off the leather
Jasmine
seats,
wasn't done.
the glowing dashboard,
She dropped a bomb on
and the
Instagram
monogrammed
Live,
details
saying,
that left no doubt
I never
about its
asked him to
exclusivity.
come.
Fans
He showed
flooded the
up,
comments
and
with
yeah,
angry
we talked.
words,
But
calling
what
her
happened
shameless.
after?
But Jasmine
That was
just
on him.
smiled.
The
Running
internet
her hands
exploded.
across the steering wheel
Screenshots
and saying,
of the live
"When you
flooded the
treat
shade
people
room,
right,
and within
they treat you
hours,
right back."
the hashtag
To many, it felt like a
Kirk
direct
trended
shot at
nationwide.
Rasheeda, a taunt wrapped
Rasheeda
in
stayed
luxury
quiet
leather.
until
Screenshots of the
a
live
cryptic
spread
story
like
appeared on her
wildfire,
profile.
and within minutes,
Just one
Rasheeda's
word.
name began
Enough.
trending
No
alongside
face,
Jasmine's.
no voice.
Fans
Just that
couldn't
cold,
believe
final word
Jasmine
against
was
a
bold
black
enough to
screen.
flaunt the
It was
car
enough
so
to set
openly,
fans on
and many
fire.
wondered if
She's
Kirk had been
done.
stringing
He ruined
both
it
women
again.
along all
How
this
do you mess
time.
up twice
Family
with the same
and friends
woman?
didn't stay
One
quiet
of Rasheeda's
either.
closest
Rasheeda's
friends,
mother
Candy
reportedly
Burris,
called Kirk in a
allegedly
fit of
reached
rage,
out privately,
warning him that
urging
he was
her to take
destroying
a
his
break
family
and come
for good
stay
this
at her
time.
guest house.
Friends of the
Rasheeda,
couple
ever
chimed
the
in on
loyal
social
warrior,
media.
declined.
Some siding
I'm not
with
running,
Rasheeda,
she
others trying
reportedly
to
told her
defend
team.
Kirk by claiming
This
people
time,
didn't
I'm
know the
standing
full
in
story.
it.
But
the drama wasn't just
done.
between the three
The
of them
image
anymore.
Kirk grinning beside
Word
Jasmine,
got out
and
that
car
Jasmine
had
was
burned
pregnant
itself
again,
into the minds
and while
of
she
fans,
never outright
and no
claimed it
amount
was
of
Kirk's,
excuses
the
could
timing
erase it.
raised eyebrows.
Even other cast members
During a
from Love
radio
and Hip Hop
interview with
weighed in,
Streets
with sly
94.5,
comments,
the host
cryptic
asked her
tweets,
point
and
blank,
subtle digs
so
that
is
only
Kirk the
poured
father?
gasoline on the fire.
Jasmine smirked.
For Rasheeda,
Let's
the
just
hardest
say,
part wasn't
the
just
past
the
has
betrayal
a way of
was the
repeating itself.
humiliation. She
That
had
was
fought
the
so
moment
hard
things
to present
snapped for
herself as
Rasheeda.
strong,
Sources say
forgiving,
she
and
confronted Kirk a
unshakable in
second
the
time,
face of Kirk's
this
past
time in front of
mistakes.
friends and
And now
business
she felt
partners
the
at their
world
press
laughing at her
boutique.
pain all
You
over
lied to me
again.
again.
In
She
private,
reportedly
she
shouted.
confided to a close
Kirk
friend
tried
that
to
she
calm
felt
her
like
down,
a fool,
but she wasn't
saying,
having it.
"I thought he changed,
humiliated
but
me
men like
once.
Kirk don't change.
I gave you
They
grace.
just get sneakier."
I rebuilt your image.
Her tears weren't
And
just
now
for the
this.
betrayal.
You
They
think
were
I'm
for
gonna
the
play
years
the
she had
fool twice?
invested, the image
The
she had
store fell
defended,
silent,
and the family she had
employees
tried
watched
to protect.
awkwardly,
And
customers
yet,
pretending
as
to
the
browse
backlash
while
swelled,
eavesdropping
Kirk
on every
seemed
word.
strangely
Kirk, trying to
Friends
control
claimed
the
he brushed
narrative,
it off as haters
released a
talking
statement
and
to
insisted
TMZ.
that
There's a
people
lot
didn't
being said
understand
right
the
now,
bond he had
and
with
most of it
Jasmine.
isn't true.
Some
I love
whispered
my
that Kirk
wife
was
and my
living a double
family,
life again,
and I'm working to
trying
fix
to
this
juggle both
privately.
women without
But the
caring
damage
who got
was done
hurt in the process.
Jasmine,
Others
meanwhile,
speculated
was
the
seen
car was
shopping
more
at
than a
Phipps
gift,
Plaza
it
with a
was
diamond
hush-money.
necklace
A
that
way
looked
to keep
suspiciously
Jasmine
similar to
loyal
one
and quiet about
Kirk
something
had once
bigger.
gifted Rasheeda
Whatever
in
the truth
season
was,
5.
fans were
Fans
convinced
caught
this
the
scandal
receipts.
was only
He
the
gave her
beginning,
Rasheeda's
and they
necklace.
braced themselves
One
for
follower
the next
posted,
explosive chapter
"The
in the Frost
disrespect
family
is
saga."
unbelievable."
The next
And
morning,
just when you
the
thought it
fallout
couldn't
had
get any
taken on a
messier,
life of its own.
Jasmine posted a
Social
cryptic
media
TikTok
wasn't
set
just
to
buzzing,
Beyonce
it was erupting.
Sorry,
Memes,
with the
reaction
caption,
videos,
"He only
and
want
heated
me when I'm
debates
not
about
there."
Kirk Frost's
The
so-called
pettiness was
generosity
cinematic.
flooded every
Fans were
platform.
divided.
Some fans
called her a
insisted that he had
homewrecker.
crossed a
Others
line
labeled
no one
Kirk
could
a
ignore,
serial
while
manipulator.
others suggested
But
he
most
was
they were
merely living
heartbroken
his
for
truth,
Rasheeda.
unapologetically.
And for the first time,
but the
she
tension
wasn't
limited
defending
to the
Kirk.
internet.
Not
The
in
Frost
public,
household itself
not
had
behind
become a
closed
pressure
doors.
cooker of emotions,
Not anymore.
whispers,
And that's
and
when things
silent
got truly
accusations.
explosive. The
Rasheeda
tension was so
reportedly spent
thick it could
hours
be
in
cut
her
with a
bedroom,
knife.
replaying
Atlanta
the
had
video
never
over
seen a
and over,
scandal erupt this
each
fast
time
and this
feeling the
loud.
sting of humiliation
Rasheeda was no
sharper
stranger
than
to
the
drama,
last.
but
Family members close
this was
to her
something else.
described
Her silence
scene of
wasn't
quiet
just deafening,
devastation.
it was
Her
strategic.
makeup smudged
Behind
from
the
tears.
scenes,
Her
her
voice
team was in
barely above a
overdrive.
whisper as she
PR
vented to her
managers
sister.
scrambling to
How many
control the
times,
narrative.
Kirk,
Close friends
how
trying
many
to reach
times
her.
must I witness
Brand
this
partners
before I
getting
can
nervous.
finally walk away?
Deals were
Friends tried to console
already
her,
on the table for
reminding
a
her
new
of her
reality
worth.
spin-off
But
about
Rasheeda's
black
mind
love
was a
and
storm.
entrepreneurial couples
Torn between
now.
the love
Everything
she had
hung in
invested
limbo.
and the betrayal she
Rasheeda
couldn't
had built an
ignore.
empire on
Meanwhile,
resilience.
Kirk,
But what
seemingly
happens when the
oblivious to
foundation
emotional
cracks from
hurricane he had
within?
ignited,
Meanwhile,
was caught on camera
Kirk
heading
had gone
to a private
radio
event with
silent.
Jasmine,
No
laughing,
posts, no
joking,
photos,
and casually
just a
showing off
trail
his
of
latest
unanswered
lavish
calls
purchase.
and missed opportunities to
Insiders
make
claim
things
that
right
during the event,
but privately,
Kirk made a
he was
series of
panicking.
comments that
He
fans
reached out to
later
Rasheeda
interpreted
through
as
their
thinly
manager,
veiled jabs at
pleading for
Rasheeda.
just one sit
You
down,
have to reward loyalty
one
where
chance
you
to
find
explain
it.
everything.
He reportedly
Rasheeda
said to a
finally
friend
agreed,
while
but
gesturing
not
toward
alone.
Jasmine.
She brought
His
her
tone
cousin
playful
and
but
longtime
pointed.
ride
The
Kelsey
remark,
to the meeting
captured by
and made
multiple
one
attendees,
thing clear.
quickly
If
made
you
its
lie
way
to me again
online,
in front of
where
her,
the comment
I'm
section
walking.
erupted
For
with
good?
disbelief.
The meeting was held at a
Reward
quiet
loyalty.
corner booth
That's his
inside a
wife.
restaurant
One
in Castleberry
commenter typed
Hill.
furiously,
Low lights.
This is
No
absolute
cameras.
disrespect.
Just real
Typed another.
emotions.
The optics
Kirk
were
showed up
disastrous,
looking worn,
fueling
as
the
if the
narrative
weight of
that
his
Kirk's
decisions had
priorities
finally
shifted
caught
in
up.
shocking ways.
Rashida sat,
At the same
straight-backed,
time, Jasmine
arms
appeared
crossed,
more
eyes
confident
cold.
than ever.
I didn't
Posting
sleep with
photos
her,
of herself
Kirk
with
said
the car in
immediately.
various scenic
But you
locations
went there.
around Atlanta.
She snapped back.
Each post
You went
seemed
to her
designed
house.
to flaunt not only
You didn't
the car,
tell me.
but the
You lied about
controversy
your
itself,
location.
as if to
And now
remind the
she's out
world
here
that she had
playing
won a certain
Beyonce
kind
with a
of
baby
victory.
bump. Tell me what I'm
Fans were
supposed to
split
believe.
between envy,
Kirk
admiration,
sighed, rubbed his
and
hands
outrage.
together, leaned in.
Many accusing
I
her
needed
of deliberately
closure.
stoking the
We
flames
never really
between
talked
her and
after
Rasheeda.
all that happened.
Rumors began to
She
swirl
texted
that
me and said
Jasmine
she had
played a
something
part in
important to tell
orchestrating
me.
the car's timing,
I shouldn't have
ensuring
gone,
it landed in
but I
public
swear,
view during
nothing
Rasheeda's
happened.
busiest work hours.
Kelsey narrowed her eyes.
Whether true or
So
not,
she's lying
the story
again.
grew more scandalous
Is that your
with
story?
each passing hour.
Kirk hesitated.
The
I don't know what
situation
she's doing,
escalated when
but I didn't
Rasheeda's
touch
close
her.
friends
I swear on
reportedly
our
took
kids.
matters into their own
Rasheeda's
hands,
voice dropped to a whisper.
confronting Kirk in a
You
private
swore on
dinner
them last
meeting
time
meant to
too.
clear the air.
The conversation
Sources say
ended
the
with no
conversation
resolution,
grew
just
heated
pain and
almost
more
immediately.
questions.
Do you
Rashida
have
walked
any
out
idea
without
what
hugging
you've done?
him, without
One
looking
friend
back.
demanded,
Kelsey followed,
voice shaking with
her
emotion.
head.
This isn't
He's
just
still
a
playing
car.
you,
Kirk,
she
it's
muttered.
a symbol of
Rashida
betrayal.
didn't respond.
Kirk, who
She didn't
allegedly
have
remained
to.
seated with
Her
a calm
silence said
exterior,
everything.
shrugged
Later
and
that
said,
night,
I don't see
Rashida went
betrayal.
live on Instagram.
I see an acknowledgement
Fans
of
held their
effort
breath.
and connection.
It wasn't a
You're all
tell-all,
overreacting.
not yet,
The
but it was a
words,
message.
though intended to
A raw,
diffuse tension,
unfiltered message
only
that
made
left
things
jaws
worse.
on the floor.
Witnesses report
Sometimes,
that voices
the
were
people you
raised,
fight hardest for
accusations
turn out
flew,
to
and
be
at
the
one
ones
point,
fighting
Rasheeda's
hardest
friend
against you.
slammed her
She
hand on the
said,
table,
eyes glistening
declaring,
but no
"This
tears
family
falling.
is falling
I believed
apart,
in love.
and you're the
I
reason."
believed in change.
The evening ended
But
in
belief
unresolved
doesn't keep
anger,
you warm when
with
the lies
no
start piling
apologies,
up.
no
I
understanding,
don't know what
and
tomorrow
no path
looks like,
forward
but today,
clearly in sight.
I
Adding
choose
another
peace.
layer of chaos.
The comments
Fans
were
began digging
explosive.
into Kirk and
Queen
Jasmine's
energy.
past interactions.
Riding with you,
Screenshots
Rashida.
surfaced of
Let
cryptic
that
social
man go.
media exchanges.
Even Cardi
Some
B dropped a
friendly,
heart
some
emoji, and the
flirtatious,
words
that
realest
had
thing I've
previously
heard all
gone
week.
unnoticed.
But while fans
People
were
began
lifting her up,
speculating whether
Jasmine
the
was
luxury
busy
car
stirring
was
the
merely
pot
the tip
in a
of a
now
much
deleted
larger
Instagram
iceberg.
story.
A
She
signal of a
posted a
deeper
video
bond
of
that had
herself
been
cradling
hidden
her
in plain
stomach
sight.
while wearing what looked
Conspiracy
like
theories
Kirk's old
abounded.
varsity jacket
Some
from a
claimed
past
Kirk was buying
LHHATL
Jasmine's
episode.
silence.
The caption
Others
read,
suggested he was
"History
flaunting
repeats
power,
itself,"
while a few
especially when the
insisted that he
first
simply
chapter
didn't
was
care
never
about the
closed.
consequences.
The mess was
The
now
online frenzy
multi-layered.
intensified,
Some fans
with
believed
hashtags
Jasmine
like
was
Kirk's
Kirk's. Others
Jasmine
swore
drama,
Kirk had slipped
hashtag
again.
Rashida
A few
Desverse,
speculated the baby
and
wasn't
hashtag
even his,
luxury betrayal
that Jasmine
trending
was baiting the
nationwide.
media.
Within the Frost
But the one thing
household,
everyone
tensions
agreed on,
weren't just emotional,
Rashida
they
deserved
became
better.
logistical.
And
Friends
that opinion
staff
only grew
described
stronger
awkward
when a new
encounters at
player
home.
entered
From
the
Rashida
scene.
avoiding
Enter
shared
Devin
spaces
Marks
to
et
Kirk
al.
retreating into
Charismatic
private areas
entrepreneur
with Jasmine.
Rashida was spotted having lunch with at
Conversations
Negril
about
Village.
family children,
Cameras
and
caught them
business
laughing,
plans became
clinking
charged with
glasses, and
unspoken
walking out
resentment.
arm in arm.
Every glance
Devin
heavy
was
with
no
suspicion.
stranger to the spotlight
One
either.
staff member
He owned 3
who
clubs in
requested
Atlanta,
anonymity
a tech
revealed
startup in
you could
Miami,
feel the
and had
electricity
just
in
been
the air.
featured in Essence
Even
as
the
one
air
of the black
conditioning
moguls
didn't
to
seem
watch
to
in
cool it down.
2025.
Every
The
room
internet
had its
went
own
wild.
tension.
Is
Every
Rashida
hallway
finally
a
done
silent
with Kirk?
war zone.
New man
Family
alert.
dinners,
That
once
glow
moments
ain't
of
just
connection,
highlight, sits freedom.
reportedly turned into
Kirk,
exercises
according to
in
insiders,
endurance,
was
where
livid,
participants
not because he and
tiptoed around
Rashida
topics
were
and
officially
exchanged
separated
carefully
because she
worded
was moving on
sentences to
faster
avoid
than he
sparking another
expected.
scandal.
He always
Then
thought
came
she'd
the
wait
most
around.
shocking twist.
One source
Yet,
said
sources
that
close
she'd
to
be
Rashida
there no
claimed
matter
that
what.
she decided
Now
to
he's
confront
realizing
Jasmine
she's
directly.
not playing that
Arranging
game
a
anymore.
tense, private
But
meeting
Kirk
at a
wasn't
neutral
just fuming in
location.
silence.
The confrontation,
He reportedly showed
insiders
up at
say,
Rashida's
was a mix
boutique
of
2
tears,
days later,
anger,
unannounced,
and
trying to
accusations.
talk. Rashida
her voice
refused to let him
breaking,
in.
reportedly
Kelsey
said,
had to
"You
physically
knew what
block
this
the
would do.
entrance. You had
You
your
knew it would
chance.
hurt me,
She snapped.
humiliate me,
Now
and
step
still
off.
you accepted it with a
Witnesses
smile.
said Kirk left
How
fuming,
could you be
pacing
so
the
heartless?
sidewalk before driving
Jasmine,
off in his
according to
Escalade.
eyewitnesses,
That same
didn't
night,
flinch.
he posted a cryptic
Instead,
quote on
she
his
calmly
story.
responded, "I
Sometimes you
didn't
don't
make
know
him
what
give
you
me the
had
car.
until it's gone.
I'm just living
and
my
when
life.
it's gone, you
You have to
realize
ask him
it
why
was
he does the
everything.
things he does."
Meanwhile,
The exchange,
Jasmine's
brief but
narrative was
electric,
starting to crack.
was later dissected
A fan
frame
leaked
by
a
frame by
screenshot of a
fans
DM
online,
exchange
with
where
people
she allegedly
debating who won
admitted the baby
confrontation.
probably wasn't.
Some sided with
Kirk's
Rasheeda,
The Shade Room
others
picked
with
it up
Jasmine,
instantly.
but no
So
one
now
could
you
deny
playing
the intensity
games.
of the emotions
One
involved.
fan commented,
As the days
"Leave
passed,
Rasheeda
the drama
alone."
continued to
Another
escalate.
added, "Sis,
Kirk and
your
Rasheeda's
15
marriage
minutes
was openly
expired in
scrutinized on
2017.
podcasts,
Still,
news outlets,
the damage
and
had
fan
already
forums,
been done.
each adding
The
fuel
Frost
to the fire.
family was in
Analysts
ruins.
dissected
Rasheeda's
every
mother,
body language
Shalene,
cue
even
from public
chimed in during a
appearances,
Facebook
social
Live.
media
"I told her a
posts,
long
and
time
interviews,
ago, he
claiming
wasn't
to detect
right.
signs of
You can
deceit,
love someone
regret,
and still walk
strategic
away.
maneuvering."
And I think it's
Friends
time."
reported that
The
Rasheeda,
clip was shared
despite her
thousands
public
of times.
composure, was
Rasheeda
privately
reposted it with
struggling
the
with
caption,
sleepless nights,
"Listening
anxiety,
more these days."
and the weight of what
But
she
Kirk
described
wasn't
as
ready
a
to let
public
go.
humiliation.
Not yet.
Meanwhile,
Not when cameras
Kirk and
were now
Jasmine were
swarming
seen
every
more
move
frequently
Rasheeda
in
made.
public.
Not
Their
when Devin
presence
Marks
together
was holding her
interpreted by
hand at
fans
events.
as a flaunt,
Not
a
when
statement,
public
or a
opinion had
challenge.
turned so
And
viciously
then,
against him.
just when it
He
seemed
needed
the
a
story had
plan,
peaked,
a grand
shocking
gesture,
leak hit the internet,
something to win her back.
supposed text
And fans,
conversation
could already
Kirk and
feel it in
Jasmine
the air, one
discussing the
final
timing
play
of the
that
car
could either
delivery,
redeem him
the text,
or destroy
whether
whatever
real
dignity
or
he had left.
fabricated,
And just
painted
when
a
things
picture
seemed
of
to simmer down,
premeditation,
Rasheeda
of
got an
intentional
invitation
display,
she wasn't
and of a
expecting,
disregard for
one that
Rasheeda's
would set the
feelings.
stage for the most
The leak
explosive
went viral,
moment yet.
sending fans
The city
into a
buzzed with
frenzy
one
and
name,
reigniting debates
Rasheeda,
across all
not
social
Kirk,
media
not
platforms.
Jasmine,
Comment
not the
sections
Frost brand,
exploded with
Rasheeda,
anger,
the woman
support,
who'd stood
and
tall in
disbelief.
stilettos
One
while her
viral
world
post
crumbled
read,
only to
"If
rise
this is
higher
real,
than anyone
Kirk has
expected."
officially crossed the
Fans
line.
dubbed her the
There's
Phoenix
no
of
coming back
Atlanta,
from this.
and while memes,
Another
reaction
insisted,
videos,
"Rasheeda,
and
you
TikToks
deserve better.
flooded the internet
Walk away
celebrating
with your head
her
high."
viral speech
The
at the
tension
Frost
in the
family
Frost
legacy
household
gala
became
Rasheeda was
palpable,
plotting
with
behind
friends
closed
claiming
doors.
that arguments
She
were
hadn't
now
just
part of
survived
the
the
daily
betrayal,
routine.
she had branded it.
Simple
And now,
interactions,
she was
like
building
Kirk
an
greeting
empire on her
Rasheeda or
ashes.
discussing business,
Days after the
reportedly
gala,
ended in
Kirk
sharp
tried to
words,
regain control of the
silent
narrative
treatments,
once
and
more.
lingering resentment.
This time
Staff
through an
described
exclusive
an
interview
environment
with
where every
ATL
word was
Weekly. "I
calculated,
never claimed to
every
be
glance
perfect,"
scrutinized,
he confessed,
and every
eyes
gesture
glassy.
interpreted as
"I've
either
made more
support or
mistakes than I can
sabotage.
count.
Even
But I
casual
love my
encounters
wife.
with neighbors
I
or
never
friends
stopped.
outside the home
And I'll be here when
reportedly
she's
carried
ready
the
to
weight
come home."
of the scandal.
The interviewer
As
asked the
fans and
question
onlookers
everyone
sought
wanted
clues,
answered.
confirmations,
"Is Jasmine's baby
or additional
yours?"
fuel for the
Kirk
gossip
paused.
machine?
"There's
The fans, of
no
course,
baby.
didn't let
That
up.
was a headline,
Social media
not a
became a
heartbeat."
battlefield,
And
where
with
every
that,
post,
the final
story,
twist was
or
unraveled.
appearance by the three
Jasmine had
principals
faked
was
the
analyzed,
pregnancy. Within
critiqued,
hours,
and weaponized.
Jasmine's credibility was
Hashtags
shredded
like
online.
Team
Fans dragged her for
RASHEEDA,
filth.
hashtag
"Girl,
Team
how you
Jasmine,
lie about
and
the same
hashtag
thing
Kirk the
twice.
Chaos King
You don't need
emerged,
Kirk. You need
dividing
therapy.
followers into
Congratulations.
passionate camps that refused
You played
to see
yourself."
eye to eye.
Jasmine
Memes
responded
exaggerated
with a
every
shaky
facial
Instagram
expression,
live,
video
sobbing
clip,
into the
and
camera,
body language cue,
claiming she just wanted
turning what was
closure
already
and
a
that
tense
Kirk gave her
situation
false
into
hope.
a global
But no one
spectacle.
was buying
For
it.
Rasheeda,
The
the
damage
relentless
had been
scrutiny
done.
added
To
insult
her,
to injury.
to Kirk, but
For
not
Kirk
to
and
Rasheeda.
Jasmine, it
She'd
seemed to
come out
fuel
on the other
performance.
side, gleaming.
A public display
Kirk,
that blurred
on the other
lines
hand,
between
was a
real
shell
life
of the man we
emotions
once
and
knew.
staged drama.
He started
The
showing up
tension
at
in the
events
Frost
solo,
household
face
reached
low,
new
energy
heights as
dim.
the weeks
Friends
wore on.
close to him
Each
said he
day
was
bringing a
spiraling
fresh wave of
quietly.
scrutiny,
"He don't
gossip,
eat, don't
and
sleep.
speculation.
Just watches that
Rasheeda
gala speech
reportedly
on
tried to
repeat like he's
maintain
trying
some
to
semblance
rewind
of
time."
normalcy for the
One
sake of
source
her
revealed.
children and business
And yet,
ventures.
Rasheeda
But
wasn't
insiders
cruel.
said it was
She wasn't
nearly
posting
impossible.
revenge.
Every
Pics her
time
flaunting
Kirk
a new
stepped
man
into
in
a
his
room with
face.
Jasmine,
She
or
didn't
even
need
mention
to.
her name.
Her silence
The air
was
grew
a louder
heavy,
flex than
suffused
any
with
diamond
unspoken
ring.
accusations
Meanwhile,
and lingering
Devin Marks
resentment.
had been respectfully
Friends close
distant.
to Rasheeda
After the
said
gala
she began
fiasco,
keeping a journal,
he called
scribbling
Rasheeda,
her feelings.
congratulated her
Late at
on how
night
she
when the
handled
house
it,
was quiet,
and offered support
documenting her
without
pain,
expectation.
her frustration,
"If you ever
and her
need a
sense
real
of
one in your
betrayal.
corner, I'm
According
here,"
to sources,
he said.
some entries were
Rasheeda
raw enough
thanked
to bring her
him,
to
but made no
tears.
commitments.
Yet she kept
"Right
writing.
now, I'm dating me," she replied.
Determined not to let
That
the weight
quote
of
alone went
humiliation
viral,
crush her
printed on
completely.
T-shirts,
Meanwhile,
turned into
Kirk seemed to be doubling down on his
TikToks, even
public
sampled in a
appearances with
remix
Jasmine.
that hit SoundCloud
From
trending.
high-end boutique
Rasheeda
openings to
wasn't
gala
chasing
events,
love.
the two
She
were
was the
often
love,
photographed
and
together,
everyone wanted a piece
smiling,
of her shine.
laughing, and
1 week
seemingly
later,
oblivious
she
to
sat
the
down
storm
for her
brewing at
first
home.
post-scandal interview
Fans
with
were
Essence.
outraged,
Shot
posting
in her
comments that
boutique,
ranged from
surrounded by
furious
her
to
designs.
incredulous.
She looked
This
poised,
man has
regal,
no shame,
and every
one
bit the
user
boss
type.
she'd become.
He literally
"People
gives
keep
her
asking
gifts
me
worth
why I
hundreds
stayed so
of
long,"
thousands,
she
while
said,
Rasheeda
"but the
cries
real
at home.
question is,
Disgusting.
why do we,
Others
as
speculated
women,
about hidden
feel like
motives,
we have to earn loyalty,
suggesting the luxury
like it's a
car was more
reward
than
for
just a
suffering?"
gifted, was
She
a message,
paused, letting
a
the
show of
silence
power,
speak
or a
volumes.
strategic move
"I
in a
don't
deeper
regret
personal
anything.
game.
Not
The
the love,
speculation
not the
fueled
pain,
endless online
because it led
debates,
me here,
leaving viewers
and here is
guessing
powerful."
at Kirk's true intentions
Fans
and
wept.
Rasheeda's
She
next
SR
move.
Beyonce,
Then came
Michelle
the
Obama,
explosive
and
confrontation
Rihanna
that
wrapped
nobody
into
saw
one.
coming.
Protect
According to
Rasheeda
insiders,
at all costs.
Rasheeda invited Kirk
Give her
to
a
a private
Netflix
dinner
deal
at her
immediately.
favorite upscale restaurant.
She ended the interview with a
determined
sly
to
smirk
confront him
and a
in a
promise.
space where she could
"My next
control the
chapter.
narrative.
It's mine
Sources
to
said
write,
she arrived
and
calm on the
baby,
surface,
it's already a
but the
bestseller."
intensity in her
But the
eyes
final
betrayed
blow
the
to
storm
Kirk's
inside.
dwindling dignity
Kirk,
came
apparently
unexpectedly when
aware of the
Rasheeda announced her
confrontation,
solo
arrived
reality
with
show,
Jasmine,
Pressed,
which immediately
My
set
Truth,
off alarm
a
bells.
behind-the-scenes look into
Witnesses
her
describe
healing,
a
her
charged
brand,
atmosphere,
and her unfiltered
with the
thoughts
restaurant
post-betrayal.
staff reportedly nervous.
The trailer dropped
aware
with
they were
millions of
about to
views in the
witness a
first
heated
day.
exchange
In
between
one
reality
clip,
TV's
she's
most
seen packing
volatile
boxes.
figures.
In
Rasheeda
another,
allegedly
sitting on
began
the
the
floor
dinner
with
by calmly
Kelsey
stating
and
her
sipping wine.
feelings,
I was
her
loving
voice
a
steady
man
but
who hadn't
trembling.
even learned to
Kirk,
love himself.
this cannot
She says in
continue.
voiceover.
I need to understand
but now,
why you think
I'm
this
done
is
playing
acceptable.
small to make someone
Why
else
her?
feel big.
Why in front
and that
of the
wasn't
world?
all.
Kirk,
Pressed
according
the
to the
boutique.
reports, leaned
Expanded
back
to
in his
3
chair,
new
fingers
cities,
tapping the
pressed
table
the
as if
skincare line,
contemplating how much
sold
truth
out
to
in
reveal.
minutes. Rasheeda wasn't
it's not
just
what you
moving on,
think.
she was taking
I'm just
over.
acknowledging
She
someone
began
who's been
appearing at
supportive,
women's empowerment
someone who's
conferences,
had my back.
gracing panels
You know
with
how
quotes that left
complicated life
audiences
gets,
clapping
he
through
said,
tears.
his tone
Your
casual
heart
yet loaded
isn't
with
a punching bag.
defensiveness. Jasmine,
Stop handing it
seated
to
beside
people
him,
who think pain is
reportedly
love.
smiled faintly,
Even Rasheeda's
her eyes
mother,
sparkling with
Shirlene, became a
confidence,
fan
as
favorite
if
online.
silently reminding
Nicknamed
everyone in
Mama
the room of her
Clapback for her
position.
no-nonsense
The
commentary
tension grew
during an
palpable.
IG live.
Every
When
diner
asked if
nearby
Kirk would
felt
ever
it.
be welcomed
Every
back
waiter
into the
tiptoed
family,
around the table,
she said,
and the
he had a
restaurant's
seat at the
ambient
table.
music seemed too
He said it
soft
on fire. Ain't no invitation
as
coming.
The conversation escalated,
but the story took one last emotional turn when Rasheeda visited a women's shelter in Atlanta.
As she slammed her hand
Cameras
against
captured
the table,
her talking to young mothers,
to rattle.
donating a portion of her boutique's
Kirk,
earnings to
this isn't
survivors of
about
infidelity,
complication.
emotional
This is about
abuse,
respect,
and toxic
love,
cycles
and boundaries.
One woman asked her,
You have broken
"How did
them
you get
all."
out?" Rasheeda held
allegedly
her hand
countered,
and whispered,
defensive
"I
yet
stopped
composed.
waiting for someone to save
I
me,
haven't
and I
broken
started
anything.
saving myself."
This is life.
The internet
You
exploded.
can't control everyone's
Celebs
actions.
reposted.
You
Foundations
can't control
reached
me.
out.
The
Oprah's
standoff
team
reportedly
reportedly sent
lasted for
feelers
several
for a
intense
sit-down.
minutes.
Rasheeda
With
had
fans
turned
later
the ashes of
analyzing
a broken
video
marriage
snippets
into
and
a
audio
movement.
clips from the
She
restaurant,
wasn't just
dissecting
inspiring
every tone,
women, she was
glance,
liberating
and
them.
sigh.
And where
The
was Kirk?
confrontation ended with
Still
no
hoping,
resolution,
still
each
waiting.
party retreating
But Rasheeda's
into
heart
silence,
had already moved
leaving
on.
onlookers stunned
Not
and
to another
whispering
man,
among themselves.
not to revenge,
Social media
but to
erupted
something
once
deep.
more.
As the season finale
Clips
of
the dinner
Press,
began
My Truth
circulating
aired,
online within
viewers
hours,
were left with
and
one
fan
haunting
reactions
scene:
were swift,
Rasheeda
brutal,
walking through
and
her
relentless.
boutique alone after
She's
hours.
done. Tweeted.
Soft music
One
playing,
fan,
her
"I
voice
can't believe
narrating.
he does this in
I thought I
public,"
needed him
wrote
to finish
another.
my story,
Memes
but it
portraying
turns
the
out
drama as a theatrical
I was the whole
performance
book.
spread like
Fade to
wildfire.
black.
Each
To be
exaggerating the
continued.
tension,
Maybe,
the tears,
but Rasheeda
and the
no longer
unspoken
needed
threats.
the ending tied up in a
Opinion
bow.
pieces cropped
She had
up,
already won.
dissecting Kirk's
So there
behavior
you have
and
it,
speculating
the
about the
jaw-dropping
future of his
unraveling of a
marriage.
love story we
Podcasters
all
debated
thought had
whether
found
Rasheeda
its
would
fairy
finally
tale
walk
ending.
away,
From
with some
Jasmine's twisted
insisting she had
return
reached the
to
end of
Kirk's
her
desperate
patience,
attempts
while
at
others
redemption,
argued that her
and
public
Rasheeda's
composure
rise like a
suggested
queen
she was
reborn.
planning a
This
strategic
drama
response.
delivered the kind
Amid
of
the
roller
public
coaster
chaos,
fans will be
Rasheeda
talking about for
reportedly sought
years.
counsel from
It
family
wasn't
and
just
friends,
another scandal.
determined
It
to
was
navigate
heartbreak
the
turned into
emotional
power.
minefield without
It was
making
betrayal
impulsive
turned into
decisions.
business.
Friends
It was
described
Rasheeda
long
saying no
phone
more,
calls late at
and the
night,
world finally
strategy
listening.
meetings,
Kirk
and
may have
emotional
tried to spin the
venting
narrative,
sessions where she
may have
expressed
played the
heartbreak,
victim, may
disbelief,
have offered
and
rings,
anger. I can't
tears,
believe he
and
still
promises,
chooses her.
but when the
She
cameras
reportedly
turned off,
said during
it
one
was Rasheeda who
conversation,
walked away with
voice
her dignity
quivering.
intact.
I've tried,
Her brand
I've
booming,
forgiven,
and her
I've
spirit
fought for this
stronger
family,
than ever.
and yet here
Jasmine,
we are.
discredited,
Advice from
exposed,
trusted
vanished.
confidants ranged
Kirk,
from walking
left in the
away
shadows of a
entirely to
spotlight he
staging a
once
public
shared,
response
and
that could
Rasheeda
reclaim her
she
dignity.
stepped into center stage
Rasheeda's
alone,
mind,
glowing
insiders
unstoppable.
claim, was a
But now
whirlwind
we
of
turn it over
emotions,
to you. What do you
calculations,
think?
and possible
Was Kirk
strategies,
truly
each
remorseful,
more
or just
complicated
scrambling
than the
to
last.
save face?
Meanwhile,
Do you
Kirk
believe
and
Jasmine was
continued
really
their
lying
public
about everything?
appearances,
Or was there a
seemingly immune
deeper
to the
layer of
growing
truth
backlash.
buried in the chaos?
Fans noticed
And most
subtle
importantly,
dynamics in their
should Rasheeda
interactions,
give Kirk
lingering
one last
touches,
chance? Or has she
inside
finally
jokes,
closed
and
the
a
book for
confidence
good?
that suggested
Let us know
Kirk
in the
felt
comments
untouchable.
below.
Rumors
We want to hear
circulated
your
that the
take on
luxury
every
car
twist,
was only the
turn,
first
and
of several
tear.
planned
And if
gifts,
you were just as
each
shook as
designed
we
to
were,
assert
forget to
Jasmine's
hit that like
position
button,
and challenge Rasheeda's
subscribe for more
authority.
reality show
Analysts,
bombshells,
bloggers,
and smash
fan
that
accounts
notification bell
documented
so
every
you never
movement,
miss a single
turning the
scandal.
situation
Until
into a
next time,
full-blown
stay
media
messy,
spectacle.
stay
Every
curious,
appearance,
and stay
every
tuned.
smile, and
Because
every
in the world of
statement
reality
was dissected
TV,
for hidden
the
meaning.
drama is never really
Leaving the
over.
public enthralled, and
Broke.
Rasheeda
Me
isolated
once.
in the
I
eye of the
barely
storm.
put myself back together.
Adding another layer
And
to
now
the saga.
you want me to believe
Rumors
this is all
began
just
circulating that
coincidence.
other family members
She turned to
were
leave,
taking
but
sides.
Kirk blocked the
Some
doorway.
reportedly supported
Please,
Rasheeda quietly,
listen, don't do this.
sympathizing
Don't
with her
let her
plight
win.
and offering private
You know
guidance.
Jasmine always
Others,
been jealous of what we
allegedly
have.
closer to Kirk,
Rasheeda snapped,
defended his
had,
actions,
not have,
claiming the backlash
past
was
tense,
exaggerated
as
and
she
fueled
stormed
by
out of the
misinterpretation.
restaurant.
This
Paparazzi
division
who had somehow
reportedly
caught
created
wind of the
additional
drama
tension
were already
during family
waiting.
gatherings,
Flashes
turning
blinded
once
her
friendly
as they
interactions
bombarded her
into
with
subtle
questions.
battlefields
Is
of
it true?
loyalty,
Is Kirk
suspicion,
the father?
and emotional strain.
Will you leave him
the
this
Frost
time?
household,
Rasheeda
according
didn't
to insiders,
say a word.
had
She slid
transformed
into
into
her
a
car
car
and
and
drove
where
off.
every glance,
Her sunglasses
word,
hiding
or
the
gesture
tears,
could
but
ignite
not the
further
pain
drama.
etched across
As
her
days
face.
turned into
Meanwhile,
weeks,
the controversy
Jasmine was
seemed
loving
to spiral
every
with
second
no
of the
resolution
chaos.
in sight.
She went live on
business
Instagram
ventures,
from her newly
social
renovated
media
condo,
presence,
sipping
and
on a
personal life
mocktail
were
and
all
cradling her
impacted
baby
by the
bump.
relentless scrutiny.
I told y'all, Kirk
Fans
never
and
left
media
me alone.
outlets dissected
She
her
purred
every
into the
move,
camera, searching for
Mans,
cracks,
addicted,
emotional cues,
every time I
or
block
signs
him,
of
he finds
retaliation.
a way back.
Every
I
post
ain't
became
trying
a
to be
statement.
messy,
Every
but when a man
story,
wants
a
to be in his
potential
child's
clue.
life,
Even
what's a
casual
girl
comments
supposed to
about
do?
fashion, music,
Comments
or
exploded.
fitness were
Fans were
interpreted
divided,
as
some
subtle
calling
jabs
her a
at Kirk or
homewrecker, Jasmine,
others calling
the
her
pressure
a queen
reportedly
for
left
exposing the
Rasheeda
truth.
exhausted,
Jasmine
emotionally
only
drained,
smiled and
yet
scrolled
determined
through the
to
chaos.
maintain her
Ain't
dignity
nobody
and strength
lying
amid
here.
the chaos.
Y'all just
The
mad.
twists
Your
didn't
favorite
end
couple,
there.
fake as hell.
Insiders
Back at
claimed
home,
that Kirk,
Rasheeda sat
sensing
in
the
silence.
intense scrutiny,
Her mom,
began
Charlene,
carefully,
had arrived within
curating
the
his
hour
public
after
persona,
getting a panicked
attending
call from her
events
daughter.
with Jasmine
I
while
knew it.
strategically
She
avoiding
muttered,
Rasheeda in
pacing the
public.
room.
The optics,
I told you
while
he'd do it again.
controversial, seemed
Once
calculated,
a cheater,
always
further fueling
a
fan
cheater,
debates
but
about his
Rasheeda didn't want
intentions.
lectures.
Some
She wanted
insisted
clarity,
he was flaunting
proof,
power and
a
control,
lie she could disprove,
while others
or a truth
believed
she
he was
could
attempting
confront.
to navigate
She had
a
the money,
complex personal
the contacts,
situation
the
without
power.
igniting.
So she
Further
made a call
conflict.
to her lawyer and
Analysts
another to a private
suggested that every
investigator.
public appearance,
If Kirk was
every
the father
social
of this
media
new
post,
baby,
she
and
would
every
find
private
out.
interaction
And if he
was
wasn't,
now part
then
of a delicate
Jasmine's
game.
little publicity
Each
stunt
move
would
scrutinized,
backfire harder than
dissected,
she could
and
imagine.
debated by millions.
But just
The
as
tension
Rasheeda
was
was
starting
starting
to regain
control,
as whispers of
she
another
received
shocking
another
revelation
this time
began
from her
circulating
teenage son,
among fans. fans and insiders alike.
He burst into the room,
According to sources close to the Frost household, Kirk had allegedly planned an elaborate surprise for Jasmine, one that went far beyond the luxury car.
The phone
While
and
details remain murky,
it showed
Jasmine
Jasmine
that the plan involved a lavish private event,
late-night DMS
complete with high-end catering, a celebrity DJ,
think about
and an audience of influential friends and media personalities.
Thinking about that night.
The mere rumor
Another
of this
one
event
said,
set social
"This gotta stay
media
between us."
ablaze. I can't
With
lose
fans
Rasheeda
speculating
again.
that Kirk
The
was
world
not only
tilted.
flaunting his
Rasheeda
affection
nearly
for Jasmine,
dropped the phone,
but deliberately
Kirk had
pushing
lied.
Rasheeda further
Again,
into the shadows.
he had been talking
Rasheeda,
to Jasmine,
according to close
recently,
confidants,
intimately,
reportedly
her
found
heart
out
pounded
about
in
the
her
planned
chest
celebration
like a drum of
through a leaked
betrayal.
invitation.
Her voice broke
and the
as
news
she
sent her
whispered
into
to
a
herself,
whirlwind of
"I was
shock,
stupid to
anger,
believe he
and
changed."
despair.
Her mother
How could
sat
he do
beside
this to
her,
me again?
rubbing her back.
She allegedly
whispering,
whispered to
"Baby,
a friend,
you're not
tears
stupid.
streaming down
You're
her
just
face.
loyal."
It's like
And he
he
didn't
wants the
deserve
world
that.
to see me as
Rasheeda
powerless.
wiped her
Kirk
tears,
and Jasmine,
her face
meanwhile,
hardening with resolve,
seemed to embrace
she
the
stood
growing
up,
frenzy.
grabbed her purse,
Insider
and said,
reports
"I need to
claimed
see
that
him."
during the private
Tonight,
event,
no
their
cameras,
chemistry was on
no
full
audience,
display.
just me and him.
The car was parked
The
prominently.
emotional storm
in the
inside
venue,
her had
with
turned
Jasmine
cold.
posing
Focused,
beside it in
she
designer
needed
attire.
answers.
While
And if
Kirk
made
wasn't
sure
going
the
to give
cameras
them
caught
willingly,
every detail,
she'd drag every
guests
truth out of him.
reportedly
One lie
commented
at a
on the
time.
couple's ease,
And as
with
the
one
sun dipped below the horizon, Rasheeda texted
another
him one line,
their laughter
"We need to
echoing
talk
through the room
now."
and their
The
subtle
final
gestures of
confrontation
intimacy,
was coming, and
which
neither
left
of them
little
would
doubt
walk
in
away the
anyone's
same.
mind
Kirk
about the
sat in the
closeness
dim
of their
glow of their
relationship.
living room,
For
nervously
Rasheeda,
tapping his
the
knee
images
as the clock
circulating
ticked toward
online were a
midnight.
cruel blow.
The message from
Social
Rasheeda had been
media
short,
users
quickly
quickly
compiled
and final.
reaction videos,
"We need to talk
memes,
now."
and commentary
There was
threads
no
that
heart
only
emoji,
amplified the
no softened
humiliation.
edges,
Hashtags
no trace
like
of the woman
Kirk
who
Jasmine
cried in his
extravaganza
arms during
and
hard
hashtag
nights.
RASHEEDA
This was Rasheeda at war with herself.
Heartbreak began
with her
trending.
pain, with
Dividing
him.
fans into
And
factions.
Kirk knew whatever
Some
was coming
sympathized
would hit
with
harder
Rasheeda,
than any
and
fight
others
they'd had
defending the
before.
actions of
He
Kirk and
tried
Jasmine
rehearsing
as
his
harmless
answers,
fun.
tried
The
convincing
mounting
himself
pressure
there
led
had to be
Rasheeda
some
to
explanation,
take an unprecedented
some
step,
miscommunication,
a public statement
some way
on
to
her
spin
social
this.
media
But the weight
platforms.
of guilt was heavy,
Though composed
and he
and
couldn't
carefully
shake the image
worded,
of Jasmine's
the post was
smug
loaded with
Instagram
emotion.
live. "I've always
Holding her
believed
belly
in
like a
loyalty,
trophy
and
and
throwing
honesty,
his name
and
around
respect,"
like a golden
she
ticket.
wrote.
The
And
front
it's
door
devastating
opened
when
with a
those
slam.
values are ignored.
Rasheeda walked
I
in
hope that
slowly,
one day,
every
my
step
family can
deliberate.
heal from the choices
Her face
made.
was unreadable,
The
stone
message,
cold,
while not
eyes
directly
slightly
naming
puffy
Kirk
but
or
dry,
Jasmine,
lips
was
tight.
unmistakably
She
a
stood in the
response to
doorway,
the ongoing
arms
scandal.
folded.
Fans
Kirk
reacted
rose
with
to
a
speak,
mixture of
but
support
she beat
and
him to it.
curiosity.
Don't
Dissecting
even try
every
to
word
lie.
for hidden
I've seen the
meanings or
messages.
potential clues
I've seen
about
everything.
what she planned next.
Her voice was
The
steady,
post sparked
dangerous.
thousands of comments.
He opened
with
his mouth,
followers urging her
searching
to
for
stand
some
strong,
excuse that hadn't
reclaim
already
her
died
narrative,
in his throat,
or even
but she
consider
raised
walking
a hand
away
to
from a
silence
relationship
him.
that
No
seemed
more
increasingly
games.
fraught with
Kirk
betrayal.
just, "Give me
Rumors
the
of
truth."
additional gifts
All
and
of it.
public displays
From the first
only
message
heightened
to
the
the
drama.
last time you touched her.
Sources close to Kirk
He looked
claimed
away,
he had discussed
ashamed,
plans for a
and that
series of
silence was
surprises
answer
for
enough.
Jasmine, including a
Rasheeda
vacation
let out a
to a
slow,
luxury
bitter
resort.
laugh.
Expensive
Wow,
jewelry,
you
and
really did
exclusive
it.
shopping.
You really
sprees.
went back to her.
While the
After all the
authenticity of
tears,
these claims
all the
remains
healing,
unverified,
after I let
the
the
mere
world
suggestion
clown me
was
just
enough
to
to
set
stay and
fans'
try
imaginations
ablaze.
ablaze.
Kirk
Many
reached out,
interpreted these
desperation
rumors gestures
cracking his
as deliberate
voice.
attempts
I
to
didn't
flaunt
plan it
wealth
like
and
that,
influence.
Rasheeda. It was a
Further
humiliating,
a stupid,
Rasheeda,
weak
while
moment.
elevating Jasmine's
We were fighting.
status.
You were
Meanwhile,
distant. I
Rasheeda's
was drinking.
supporters mobilized
She stepped
online.
back.
Don't you
creating
dare blame me
campaigns
for
to
this.
defend her.
I was distant
Highlight her
because I was
dignity,
healing,
and call out
because
Kirk's
I was
repeated
protecting
lapses
myself
in
from this
judgment.
exact betrayal.
Social media
And
became a digital
you found
battlefield.
comfort in the
Each
same
side
arms
accusing
that
the other
nearly tore
of
our
cruelty,
family apart.
opportunism,
Kirk
or
dropped his
complicity.
head into his hands.
Adding to the intrigue,
I didn't mean for it to
insiders
go that
suggested
far.
that
I
private
didn't even know she was
conversations
pregnant.
between Kirk and
I
Jasmine
swear I
hinted
didn't.
at a deeper strategy.
Rasheeda stared at him,
one that involved
silent for a
maintaining
long
the
beat.
appearance of innocence
Then,
while subtly
she
manipulating
whispered,
public
"You don't even
perception.
deny the baby
Texts
might be
and
yours."
messages allegedly
Kirk
leaked
looked
to the
up,
press
eyes
showed
pleading.
playful, I don't know what to
banter.
believe.
She could be
References to
lying.
upcoming gifts,
You know,
and
Jasmine's
a clear
slick.
understanding
She
of
could
how
be
their
using
actions
old
would be
messages,
interpreted
twisting
by fans.
everything. Rasheeda cut
Whether
him off.
authentic or
Then
fabricated,
prove it.
these
DNA
leaks added
test.
layers of
Tomorrow,
complexity to an
I want the
already
world to
tangled
know
narrative.
exactly what kind of
Analysts
man
and
you
fans
are.
alike
The
debated
tension in the room was
implications,
suffocating.
with some arguing
it wasn't
that Kirk
just
and
anger
Jasmine
anymore.
were
It was
intentionally
devastating
creating a spectacle. It was the
While
slow
others
collapse of a
suggested
woman
that the
who had been
situation
pushed too
had
far,
spiraled out of
too
control
often,
beyond
Rasheeda
anyone's
turned to
original
leave,
intent.
but Kirk jumped to his
Meanwhile,
feet. What
Rasheeda
about us?
reportedly
What
began
about our
seeking
kids?
counsel from friends,
You just gonna
family,
throw everything
and
away?
professional advisors.
She stopped and
weighing
turned,
her options
voice
carefully
soft
but sharp.
Sources described
You
her
threw
as
it away.
determined to reclaim
I just
control
finally
over her
stopped
life,
picking it
her
back
image,
up.
and her
Meanwhile,
narrative.
the
Private
internet
meetings,
was in a frenzy.
strategy sessions,
Blogs
and
podcasts,
emotional venting sessions
and gossip
became
pages
part of her
exploded
daily
with
routine,
speculation.
each helping her process
Jasmine
the
had
growing
gained over
scandal and plan her
300,000
next
new
move.
followers overnight.
Friends noted
and
that
she was
Rasheeda
milking
had
every
become
second
more
of it.
guarded, deliberate,
I'm not
and
trying to be
focused,
messy,
refusing
she
to
said
let
in her
public
latest
opinion
reel,
dictate her
but the truth
actions,
always
but still
comes
acutely
out.
aware of how
I ain't
every
the villain.
decision would be
I'm the vessel.
scrutinized.
The
If he
intensity
didn't
of
want
the
this
situation
baby, he should
reportedly
have
kept
kept
it
it
to
zipped.
confront not
Her
just
smirk
Kirk and
at the end of the
Jasmine,
video
but
became
also
an
her
instant
own feelings
meme.
about love,
Even celebrities
trust,
were
and
chiming in.
self-worth.
The
Tokyo
public,
Vanity
of course,
tweeted,
remained
Kirk got
captivated.
Rasheeda
Out
every
here looking like
appearance
a
by
fool
Kirk
again.
and Jasmine.
Man,
Whether
send him to the
social
basement
events
with
casual
casual
outings,
K.
or
Michelle
business
dropped a
meetings,
shady
was
IG story.
dissected and broadcast
Some women love their
online.
men so much
Fans
they forget to
analyzed
love
body
themselves.
language,
Couldn't
tone
be
of
me.
voice, clothing
Fans were
choices,
split.
and even
Some
seating
begged Rasheeda
arrangements
to
to
walk
gauge
away
the
once
true
and
state
for
of the
all,
relationship,
calling her too
memes
strong to stay
proliferated,
weak.
others
Videos
begged
went
her to
viral,
stay,
and
saying,
discussion threads
he made a
on
mistake,
fan forums
not a
expanded into
lifestyle.
multi-page analyses.
But deep down,
Analysts
Rasheeda
debated
knew
the
the
psychological
psychological
motivations
mistake.
behind Kirk's
It was
actions.
about a pattern,
A
Jasmine's
disease of betrayal
responses,
that kept
and
Rasheeda's
returning every
eventual
time she
decisions.
tried to heal.
Every fan
The next
had an
morning,
opinion.
Rasheeda
And every
filed for an
opinion
emergency
added to the
paternity
swelling
test
tide of
order.
controversy that
Her
showed
lawyer
no
arranged
signs of
for Kirk,
receding.
Jasmine,
Then came
and
the
the dramatic
soon-to-be
twist
born
that
baby
no one
to be
anticipated
tested immediately
an
after
unexpected
birth.
reconciliation
But Jasmine
attempt.
wasn't waiting
Sources
for court
claimed
documents.
that Kirk,
She
perhaps
fired back
sensing the
publicly
magnitude
with a
of
slick
public
post
outrage,
showing her baby's
approached
sonogram,
Rasheeda privately,
tagging
offering
Kirk
an
in the corner
apology,
and writing
a heartfelt
he ain't denying the
explanation,
baby now,
and even
hashtag
suggesting
daddy
couples
again,
therapy.
hashtag Kirk Jr.
Friends reported
The
that
chaos
Rasheeda,
spilled into
though
love
still
and hip-hop.
deeply
Hurt
agreed
agreed
to
to filming
listen,
too,
though she did so
producers rushed
cautiously.
to capture the
Her
drama,
trust now
offering
fragile,
Rasheeda a
precarious
bonus to
thing.
document the fallout.
Witnesses described
Cameras
the
rolled
encounter
as she
as
met
tense,
with her girls
with
Bambi,
emotions running
Sierra,
high,
and
tears
spice at a
flowing,
spa, and a
trying
sense
to
of
process it
uncertainty
all.
hanging in
I
the
feel
air.
humiliated.
Kirk reportedly
She told
attempted
them,
to
tears
explain
finally
that the car
breaking
and his
through.
actions were
I
meant
thought
as
we were
gestures
good.
of
I
appreciation,
trusted him,
not
I forgave him.
disrespect. But
I feel
Rasheeda
stupid.
remained skeptical.
Bambi hugged
her
her tight.
pain, too raw
You
to
ain't
accept
stupid.
words
You're
without
loyal.
evidence of real
But
change.
sometimes loyalty
Even
is
as
a trap.
attempts at
Sierra
reconciliation
added,
unfolded.
You
Fans
built an
and media
empire.
outlets were
Don't let him
relentless.
burn it down
Every
with his
social
childish
media
choices.
post, every
Rasheeda
story,
nodded,
and every
but her
public
heart felt
statement
heavier
was
than ever.
dissected.
Back at Jasmine's
speculation
condo,
about hidden
she was
motives,
planning a full
emotional
maternity shoot with
manipulation,
industry-inspired
and power
themes.
dynamics dominating
Word
the conversation.
was, she'd already
Some
signed a deal with a
commentators
podcast
argued
and
that
a tea
Kirk's
brand.
apology was
This
genuine,
is my moment.
a step toward
She told her
repairing
friend
a
on
damaged
speakerphone.
marriage.
I was
Others
always the
insisted
villain
it
in
was
their
a
little fairy
calculated
tale.
move,
Designed
now
to
I'm
manage
main
public
character.
perception
The
and
world's
prevent
watching,
further backlash.
and it was
the
true.
complexity of the
The world was
situation
watching,
left fans divided,
watching to see if
with
Rasheeda
intense
would
debates
finally walk
continuing
away,
late into the night,
watching
generating
to see if Kirk would
headlines
own up
and viral
or
content
run
that
again,
fueled the
watching
ongoing
Jasmine
scandal.
rise as the messy
Frost
queen
saga
of scandal,
continued to
or
evolve
fall into
with
disgrace
unpredictable
once the
twists.
truth came out.
Rumors,
But the truth
additional
was getting
gifts,
harder to
private
define.
encounters,
Because
behind-the-scenes
closed
negotiations,
doors,
Kirk had
only
started
added
receiving
fuel to the
anonymous
fire.
emails
Fans
threatening
speculated
ones.
about secret
Tell
trips,
the truth or
hidden
I will.
discussions,
One read,
and the possibility
another
of
included
Jasmine
a blurry
exerting
photo of
influence
him
over
and Jasmine
Kirk in
entering
ways
a hotel
previously
months
unseen.
ago. The
Timestamped.
narrative became
Kirk stared at
elaborate
it
in
in horror.
speculation.
Someone
Gossip,
else knew more
and
than
drama.
they should.
With every
Someone
new
was
detail
waiting to drop a
amplifying
bomb.
the emotional
And
stakes.
that bomb was ticking.
Rasheeda's resilience.
He didn't tell
Kirk's audacity
Rasheeda about
and
the
Jasmine's
emails.
poise
He
combined to
couldn't,
create a
not
spectacle
yet.
that
He
captivated
needed time
audiences
to figure out who was
worldwide.
behind them.
Blurring the lines
Jasmine,
between
a
reality,
bitter ex-employee,
performance,
someone
and
from
scandal.
production.
The tension
It
in the
didn't
Frost
matter.
household had
The
reached a
walls were
level that
closing
could
in,
no longer
and
be
Kirk was
contained
running
within
out
the
of places
confines
to
of private
hide.
conversations
Every
or
mistake,
whispered
every lie,
speculations.
every
and every
secret
move was all
every
catching up
glance,
to him,
and
every
Rasheeda.
interaction
She was
between
already
Kirk,
gone emotionally,
Rasheeda, and Jasmine,
the woman who once
seemed
stood
to
by him
reverberate
through
across
storms,
social
was now the
media
one
and
quietly
reality
packing
TV
her heart
forums
into
like an
boxes.
unending earthquake.
But the story was
shaking
far
the
from
foundations
over,
of what
because
fans
2 days
had once
later,
thought they knew
Rasheeda
about their
received
lives.
a burner text
Friends
from an
and
unknown
insiders
number
reported that
Meet me
Rasheeda,
at the warehouse.
increasingly
I
aware
have
that her
proof.
private anguish
She stared
had
at the
become public
message,
fodder,
heart-pounding.
had begun
Was
meticulously
it a trap?
documenting every
Was it
incident,
Jasmine,
conversation,
or someone else
and
entirely?
moment of perceived
Her
betrayal.
curiosity
Writing
overpowered her
notes
caution.
laid into the
She
night
told
with
no
tears
one,
running down
just
her
got in
cheeks.
her car and drove.
Her hands trembling
What
as
she
she
would find
poured
there
her feelings onto
would change
paper.
everything.
A
The
cathartic
warehouse
ritual
sat on
that
the edge
allowed
of
her to
Atlanta's
process the
industrial
overwhelming
district,
flood of
abandoned
emotions.
looking.
Its
She had
steel
been
doors
forced to
rusted,
endure while the
one
world
overhead
watched
light
and judged,
flickering in the
dissected
distance
like
and
a
debated
warning.
every detail.
Rasheeda pulled up
making it
cautiously,
impossible to simply
double-checked
grieve
the
in
address,
private
or
and
confront
parked
the
with
situation
her finger
without an
hovering
audience.
near the emergency
Rasheeda's
call
inner
button on
circle
her phone.
described her as caught
Everything
in a
about this
perpetual
screamed,
state of
"Don't
tension."
go in.
A storm
But
of
her gut
heartbreak
told
and
her
anger
otherwise.
that she
This
attempted to
wasn't
mask
random.
with her usual
Someone
composure
wanted
in
her to
public
see
appearances.
something.
She stepped
Only
out,
to have
every carefully curated gesture analyzed
as she
and
approached the door.
criticized by fans,
It creaked open on its
commentators,
own,
and
as
fellow
if it had been
reality
waiting for her,
stars,
each interpreting
Inside,
her smiles.
The air was musty and
her
cold,
pauses,
and
and
even
even
her
her
folding
wardrobe
chair
choices
sat under a
as
bare
subtle
bowl.
statements.
And next to it, a
Coded
brown
messages
envelope
of either defiance
Rasheeda
or
scans
resignation,
shadows, heart
all of which
racing.
intensified
No
the
one.
already
She crept
unbearable
forward,
pressure
every
she faced in a
instinct screaming to
household
leave,
where loyalty,
but the need for
trust,
truth
and
was
emotional
stronger than
safety
fear.
had become
She
dangerously
picked up the envelope,
precarious.
opened it,
Meanwhile,
and froze.
Kirk, seemingly
Inside
unshaken
were
by the
dozens
growing
of printed
fury surrounding the
screenshots,
luxury
text
target,
messages,
continued
emails,
to maneuver
photos,
through his public life
all
with a
dated,
confidence
all
that
between
bordered
Kirk
on
and
arrogance.
Jasmine.
Appearing
One
in
thread
photo
stood
ops
out,
and event
labeled
videos
December
with Jasmine
23rd,
by his side,
2:11
their
a.m.
chemistry on display
Rasheeda's
in ways
eyes
that
flew
left
across the
fans
screen.
both envious and
You
outraged.
said she was going to
while
her mom's.
insiders noted a
I'm at the
deliberate
Hilton.
orchestration
You
in his
coming?
actions.
The reply,
suggesting
give me
that
20.
he fully understood
Don't
the
post
optics of their.
nothing.
Another from the same night. That night was wild. I missed you. Always do.
But it got worse.
Appearances
One photo
and
showed
the way
Kirk
they would be
asleep
perceived
in bed
by the
shirtless,
public,
unmistakably
turning what could
him.
have been private
The timestamp
indiscretions
matching
into
the
a
exact
highly
date of
performative
those
spectacle
messages
that amplified the
Jasmine
emotional
had
stakes,
receipts,
making
all right.
Rasheeda's private
And whoever
anguish
sent
a
this to
visible,
Rasheeda
almost
clearly
tangible
had more.
narrative that could not be
On the
ignored.
final page was
Rumors
a
began
handwritten
to circulate
note.
about secret
He's lying to
conversations,
both of you.
private texts.
This wasn't a
and
one-time
behind-the-scenes deals that
He's been
hinted at a
playing
more
both
complex,
sides.
calculated
Jasmine isn't the
dynamic
only
between
one.
Kirk and Jasmine.
Rasheeda stumbled backward,
with some fans
breath knocked
speculating
from her
that
chest.
the
Not the only
$250,000
one.
luxury car
Her
was
knees
merely
gave out,
the
and she
opening act in a
collapsed onto the
series of
chair.
strategic
Envelope
displays
clutched
designed
tightly.
to assert Jasmine's
The weight of
position
years
and
of betrayal
unsettle
suddenly
Rasheeda
came
further,
crashing
while
down
other
in full.
insiders
She
suggested
thought
that
she was
Kirk's
walking into a
behavior
story
reflected
about
deeper
one of her
personal
one's
scandals.
scandals.
But
A
this,
tendency to seek
was a
attention,
web, a network of
validation,
secrets,
or control
Kirk
in
had
ways
been living
that
a
were
double
both
life,
reckless and
maybe
provocative,
even a triple one,
leaving the
and
family
someone
divided,
had just pulled
friends
the thread.
exasperated.
The next
and
morning,
viewers glued to
Rasheeda
every unfolding
didn't speak,
moment,
didn't
desperate
cry,
for answers,
didn't yell,
resolutions.
She just moved through her mansion
at
like
the
a
very
ghost,
least,
moving
confirmation
Kirk's
that
into
the
the
chaos
chaos
had a direction
when he came
and
home that
purpose beyond
evening,
mere spectacle.
trying
As
to
the saga
pretend like
progressed,
things might blow
Rasheeda
over.
reportedly
He found
attempted
his multiple
clothes,
interventions,
his shoes,
each
even
more
his Tylenol
calculated than
stacked
the
in
last,
boxes by the
ranging
door.
from private
What's this?
confrontations
He
with
asked,
Kirk in
confused.
neutral locations
She didn't
to
answer,
strategic
just handed
conversations
him,
with friends and
got
family
canceled
members
after
intended
fan
to
backlash.
clarify her position.
He got booed at
set
a local
boundaries,
event,
and assert
her
some of
dignity.
his own business
Though
partners
every attempt
began
seemed to
quietly
escalate
backing
the
away.
situation rather
Worse,
than resolve it,
someone leaked
fueling
more of
further
the contents from the
speculation.
mystery USB
Scrutiny,
and
footage
at
of him
times,
kissing a girl
public
who wasn't
performances
Jasmine,
of reconciliation
texts arranging
or
hotel
indifference
meets
that only deepened
one message
the
read,
intrigue and
"Wifey
divided
still
fans
asleep."
into warring
Slide
camps of
through after
opinion,
two.
each
Social
interpreting
media
the same
dubbed
actions
him Kirk
in
the Curse.
diametrically
And
opposed
Rasheeda,
ways. She let it
arguing
all
over
unfold
intention,
without saying a word,
morality,
until
and
the
the
future
teaser
of a
trailer
marriage
for
that
her
had become a
docuseries
spectacle
dropped.
of human emotion,
A single shot of her
betrayal,
staring into
and
the camera.
resilience.
No makeup.
Sources
Raw.
claimed that
She
during
says,
one particularly
"This ain't a
tense
revenge
dinner
story.
meeting,
It's a
Rasheeda
survival
confronted
one."
Kirk with a
The
blend of
series was a smash
vulnerability
hit
and
before
fury.
it even premiered.
Her voice breaking
Networks
yet
fought
firm,
for exclusive
demanding
rights.
answers for what
Fans
many
flooded her
perceived
with
as a
support.
continuous pattern
Women
of
from
public
all walks of
humiliation.
life sent
While
messages
Kirk,
of solidarity.
seated beside Jasmine,
Rasheeda
Rasheeda
had become something more than a reality star.
Charm,
She was a symbol
and
of
calculated
grace,
ambiguity,
of strength,
of
insisting
refusal
that
to
his
break
actions were
under
misunderstood.
pressure. But
That
just when
Jasmine's
things
presence
seemed like they
and
were
the lavish
settling,
gifts
another
were
twist
twisters of
dropped an anonymous
appreciation,
email
email
sent
to
to several
betrayal,
gossip sites,
and that the narrative being
attached
spun
was a
by the
clip from
public
the
and
club's
social
surveillance
media
camera.
was an exaggerated,
It showed Kirk drunk,
misinterpretation
stumbling, and
of a much
kissing,
simpler
woman
reality,
who looked eerily
a claim
similar
that,
to Jasmine,
true or not,
but when
did little
paused,
to calm the
zoomed,
storm,
and
as
enhanced,
fans dissected
it wasn't
the encounter
Jasmine.
in real
It was a
time,
different woman,
posting reaction
younger,
videos,
unknown,
commentary,
and visibly
and
pregnant.
speculation that
The
ranged
blogs
from
exploded.
accusations of emotional
Kirk Frost,
manipulation
a third
to
baby on
defenses
the
of
way.
Kirk's right to
Headlines
live his life
screamed
as he
betrayal,
chose,
layered
layered
on
on
the
betrayal,
impact on
but
his
this
marriage.
time,
As the
Rasheeda
weeks
didn't
progressed,
flinch.
the tension
She didn't
escalated
cry.
further
She
with
didn't
the
even
introduction
comment.
of new layers
She
to the
simply
scandal,
posted a photo of
including
herself
rumored
smiling
additional
on
gifts
set with the caption,
private
"Healing
trips
looks good
and
on me."
whispered insider
That
details
silence
that
drove
suggested
Kirk
a level
crazy.
of premeditation
He showed up
that shocked
uninvited
even
to her
seasoned
docuseries
fans
launch
of reality
party,
TV
drunk
drama,
and desperate.
while Rasheeda,
"Just talk to me,"
steadfast in her
he
attempt
slurred.
to maintain
"We got
control
history,
over her
Sheeda.
narrative.
You gonna let the
Reportedly
world
sought
tear me
guidance
down
from
like this?
family. Security
Friends
tried to
and
pull him back,
professionals in an
but
effort
Rasheeda
to
raised
navigate
a
the
hand.
chaos.
She stepped
Reclaim
up
her
to him and
dignity.
whispered, and
Calm
determined
but
the next
firm.
steps in a
You tore
situation
yourself
that
down.
had become almost
The world
unbearably
just
complex.
watched.
The crowd
Emotionally
fell silent,
taxing.
No
and
one said a
publicly
word,
scrutinized
and
to an
Kirk,
unprecedented
finally
degree.
realizing he
Observers
had truly
noted
lost
that Kirk
everything.
and Jasmine's
Walked out
interactions
into the night
in public were
alone.
increasingly
Rasheeda
performative.
took a deep
With
breath,
each smile,
turned back to her
touch,
guests,
or shared
and raised
joke
her
carefully
glass.
calibrated
Two
to
new
produce
beginnings,
maximum
she
reaction
said,
from viewers
and for the first
fans.
time in years,
While
she
Rasheeda,
felt free,
navigating a labyrinth
really,
of
truly
public
free,
expectation,
but in the shadows,
private
someone
betrayal,
was still
and
watching,
personal anguish,
still pulling strings,
began to take more
because the
deliberate
same
steps
unknown
to
number
assert her
sent her one
boundaries,
final message
protect
that
her
night:
emotional well-being,
"I'm not
and
finished."
project
You
strength
deserved
in
in
full
ways that
truth.
were subtle yet
Watch your
unmistakable.
inbox.
Often conveying
and as
her
the
resolve
fireworks
through
lit up
social
the
media
Atlanta
posts,
sky behind her,
interviews,
Rasheeda
and
knew the
strategic
chapter was over.
appearances that
But
invited
the story
speculation about her
The
emotional
story
state
had just begun,
while
the
simultaneously
fireworks
demonstrating
still
her
echoed in the
refusal
distance
to be
as
diminished
Rasheeda
by the
stood beneath
ongoing
the soft
scandal.
flicker of
The drama,
streetlights.
insiders
Smiling
said,
for the cameras,
reached a
but
fever
her mind
pitch
was
when
elsewhere. alleged leaks of private conversations had arrived between Kirk and Jasmine surfaced with her team, hinting at playful, strategic,
you deserve
and potentially manipulative
Watch your
discussions that
inbox.
suggested an
That
awareness
name
of
still
how their
had no
actions
face,
would
no
be
voice,
interpreted,
no
and the
identity,
impact they would
just
have on
breadcrumbs
Rasheeda,
of betrayal
adding further
and a
fuel
trail
to
of
a fire
devastating
that had
truths.
already consumed
She'd
social
ignored the
media,
previous messages
reality
long
TV
enough,
forums,
but
and
now,
fan
with her
discussions
docuseries
worldwide,
Live,
turning
Kirk
a single
exposed,
luxury
and
car
Jasmine
gift into a
slowly slipping
multifaceted
back into the
narrative of
shadows.
love,
Rasheeda
betrayal,
didn't want to
power,
wait,
and
she was
perception
done
that kept
being
fans
blindsided.
enthralled. She slipped into a back room of the venue, family, away from the laughter and the DJ, and opened her laptop. The relentless scrutiny, her inbox was flooded. Rasheeda reportedly began plotting her own strategic responses, interview documenting every interaction, but buried halfway down the list was an email with no subject, and contemplating the long-term implications of her choices. A video titled "Before the Baby," balancing the demands of her career, family, and personal well-being before pressing play. With friends describing a woman who was both exhausted and empowered, dated 7 months ago before Jasmine's baby navigating bump was even visible, emotional and social landscape with a clarity in Midtown Atlanta contrasted sharply with Kirk's walking in with a woman and Jasmine's confident poise. Not the girl. The narrative continued to evolve. Someone new, with fan theories, insider accounts, kissed in the elevator, and social media commentary, providing endless material for analysis, debate, and speculation. The video then cut to security footage from the hotel lobby just hours later, and weighed the morality and emotional consequences of the unfolding events. But what followed made Rasheeda's blood run cold. Or statement by the trio, this subject shot from someone's phone, and emotional investment. Jasmine, wearing a hoodie and dark sunglasses, entered the same hotel later and that same morning. Nature of modern celebrity culture, it was less than 6 hours after Kirk had left, and where every final choice is amplified, a screen-recorded message from Jasmine's Instagram drafts folder as never the saga posted. Pressed on. He said the boundaries between Jasmine whispered to the camera. The emotional stakes heightened. He said I was the only one, real, but now I know, or fabricated layers of complexity to a story that had become emblematic of the highs. This wasn't just about betrayal anymore. Fascination with human manipulation on a surgical level. Dynamics. And the spectacle of wealth and emotion colliding in ways that left viewers unable to look away, with himself utterly captivated by the interplay of confusion. Loyalty, the public humiliation, it was all the fallout that defined the Frost family's public and private lives. Now his game was falling apart. In a narrative so intense, the next dramatic, Rasheeda went so all-consuming that it cemented itself as one of the most talked about reality 12 million TV scandals of the years. A story that left the world wondering what Rasheeda would do next. Just her sitting in front of the camera. Continue to navigate the chaos he had created. And but what silence isn't always play as both participant and instigator in a drama and that seemed destined to unfold across surviving and start speaking. Headlines, the internet and social media threads. The video racked up millions of views in minutes, and unrelenting public scrutiny that would be dissected. They all reposted and relived by fans, praised her resilience and observers. Meanwhile, for years to come, was nowhere to be found. The household had become a pressure cooker of emotions. He'd left Atlanta, whispers gone off and unspoken tension. One source claimed where every movement, into a wellness every glance in Arizona, every word carried the weight of scandal. He was hiding out with a cousin in South Carolina, and where the line between private pain and Jasmine spectacle had been utterly erased, leaving Rasheeda. Her last post was over 48 hours old, a dance of emotional warfare that played out not only in their own home, but across social media feeds. That silence broke days later when a struck against and fan discussions, not just privately, but publicly, analyzed, a new account popped every moment, turning personal anguish into entertainment, and every gesture into a headline. A carousel of friends photos close to Rasheeda described a woman caught between heartbreak and resolve, all watermarked someone exclusive. Who spent sleepless nights processing the shock of how many women does it take to destroy $1,000 luxury car gift to Jasmine. Part documenting her feelings in meticulous detail, instantly, writing millions of retweets, confiding in trusted allies. The women in the photos, on the profound sense of betrayal that had left her reeling and questioning the foundations of her marriage. One was a backup dancer, all while managing the expectations in Miami, of a public that had become intimately involved in the narrative of her life. Once been a client, scrutinizing her every post, the betrayal wasn't just personal, and every public appearance for signs of weakness. Producers from Love and Hip Hop scrambled to adapt the new developments into the storyline. Kirk and Jasmine appeared to operate in a separate sphere. She rejected their untouched by the storm they had unleashed. This ain't moving a reality show anymore. Social gatherings flatly and public. This is my life, and I'm reclaiming it. Instead, with she launched a new platform, Visible Diaries, a web fans interpreted by women for women daring to share stories of betrayal, deepening the emotional transformation, and creating a spectacle that blurred the line between personal choice an interview with Jasmine. Yes, Jasmine, leaving Rasheeda to navigate a world where her private grief was endlessly amplified from black to the her two women constantly under each other, and her decisions interpreted through a lens of relentless public scrutiny. Insiders reported that Kirk, aware of the optics yet undeterred, orchestrated interactions with Jasmine to maximize visibility. Fans were stunned, placing the luxury car prominently in photos for two women images of extravagant man's lives on social media together and cultivating moments that suggested both affection social and media power. Was instantly while Rasheeda's responses were measuring, cautious, was it exploitation, and deliberate? Intended was it genuine to her or just another PR move? Protect her reputation. But when the full interview aired, control it was over a narrative honest, that had been hijacked painful, by spectacle. Jasmine admitted everything and perception. I believed him. The tension really escalated as private confrontations got canceled after fan allegedly backlash. Intense. He got emotionally at a local event unfolded behind even some of his own business partners Rasheeda began demanding answers, backing away, explanations. Worse, and acknowledgement
more
of the contents from the mystery USB.
Kirk, according to
Footage of
multiple
him kissing a
sources,
girl who wasn't
maintained
Jasmine,
a mixture of
texts
defensiveness,
arranging hotel
charm,
meets,
and strategic
one message
ambiguity.
read,
Insisting
still
his
asleep,
actions were
slide through
misinterpreted
after two.
Gifts were gestures
Social
of
media dubbed him
appreciation
Kirk
rather
the
than
curse.
betrayal,
And Rasheeda,
that the storm
she
of
let it
public
all
opinion
unfold
was
without
largely
saying a
fueled
word
by miscommunication
until the teaser
and
trailer for her
exaggeration.
docuseries
Claims
dropped.
that did little
A
to
single
quell
shot
the
of her
growing
staring into the
speculation and
camera.
fan fervor.
No makeup.
Social media
Raw.
erupted
She
at the
says,
first hint
this
of these
ain't a revenge story.
confrontations.
It's
with
a
fans
survival
dissecting
one.
every
The
nuance
series
of
was
body
a smash
language,
hit before it
tone,
even premiered.
and facial
Networks
expression.
fought for
Crafting
exclusive
Meek's
rights,
reaction videos,
fans flooded
and
her with
commentary
support.
threads that
Women
amplified
from
every
all
emotional
walks of
beat,
life sent messages of
disagreement,
solidarity. And each
Rasheeda
moment
had
had
become
become
something
something
more than a
reality
into a
star.
global spectacle
She
of
was
reality
a symbol
TV
of grace,
drama,
of strength,
where no detail
of
was too
refusal
small
break
to escape
under
scrutiny,
pressure, and no
but
action
just
was
when
beyond
things seemed like they were
interpretation.
settling,
Rumors of
another
additional,
twist dropped in anonymous
gifts,
email sent to
secret
several
trips,
gossip sites,
and whispered private
attached was a
exchanges
clip from a
surfaced,
club surveillance
each
camera,
adding layers of
it showed
intrigue
Kirk
and
drunk,
complexity
stumbling
to an
and
already
kissing
convoluted
a woman
situation.
who looked eerily similar
with
to
insiders
Jasmine,
suggesting that the
paused,
luxury car was only the beginning
of
it wasn't Jasmine.
series of
It was a
gestures
different
intended
woman,
to elevate
younger,
Jasmine's status,
unknown,
while
and
testing the
visibly
limits
pregnant.
of Rasheeda's patience.
The blogs exploded,
resilience,
Kirk
and public
frost,
composure.
a third baby
As
on
the
the
saga
way.
unfolded,
Headlines
Rasheeda
screamed
reportedly
betrayal,
began plotting
layered on
strategic
betrayal.
responses.
But this time,
balancing
Rasheeda
private
didn't
emotional
flinch.
processing
She didn't
with
public
pride.
appearances
She didn't
that
even
subtly
comment.
asserted strength.
She simply
Dignity
posted a
and
photo of
resilience,
herself
while
smiling on set with the
simultaneously
caption,
navigating the
"Healing
complex
looks
web
good on me."
of family
That
loyalty,
silence drove
public
Kirk
perception,
crazy,
and
he showed up
professional
uninvited
obligations
to
that
her
had become
docuseries launch
inextricably
party,
linked with the
drunk and
scandal.
desperate.
Observers
Just
noted
talk
that
to
even
me,
mundane
he slurred.
interactions,
We
from
got
grocery
history
runs
sheet
to business
You
meetings,
gonna let the world
were now
tear me
fraught
down
with
like
the tension
this?
of potential
Security
exposure.
tried to pull him back.
Viral footage,
but Rasheeda
or
raised a
fan
hand.
interpretation.
She stepped up to him and whispered,
every day into
calm
a
but
battleground
firm.
where appearances
You tore yourself
were as
down.
important as
The
intentions,
world just
and where
watched.
the emotional
The crowd
stakes
fell
were
silent.
magnified by the presence
No one
of
said
a
a word.
relentless public
And Kirk,
audience.
finally
Insiders
realizing
claimed that
had
Rasheeda's
truly
strategy
lost everything,
included carefully
walked out
timed
into the
social
night.
media posts,
Alone,
calculated
Rasheeda took a
statements
deep
during
breath,
interviews,
turned back to
and
her
selective
guests,
engagement
and raised
with
her
friends
glass.
and family.
Two new
Each
beginnings,
designed to
she
assert
said,
control,
and for the
reclaim
first time in
narrative
years,
authority,
she felt
and
free.
preserve dignity.
Really,
all while
truly
grappling with the
free.
visceral,
But in the
raw
shadows,
emotions
someone
caused by
was
the
still
unfolding
watching.
betrayal,
Still
pulling
pulling
strings,
and
because the
spectacle.
same unknown
Meanwhile,
number
Kirk
sent her
and
one
Jasmine's
final
conduct
message
in
that
public
night
remained a
"I'm
lightning
not
rod
finished.
for discussion.
You deserve the full
With
truth."
analysts and fans
Watch
alike
your inbox,
scrutinizing every smile,
and as the fireworks
touch,
lit up
and
the
gesture,
Atlanta sky
debating
behind her,
the authenticity
Rasheeda
of their
knew this
chemistry
chapter was over.
The implications of their public
The story had just
and the
begun.
possible long-term
The fireworks
effects on
still
Rasheeda's
echoed in the
emotional
distance
state
as Rasheeda
and the family
stood beneath
dynamic,
the soft flicker of
creating
string
an
lights,
environment where
smiling
every
for the
action
cameras,
reverberated
but her
across
mind was
social
elsewhere.
media.
The
Generating
text
from
from
A
A
had arrived
memes,
just as
and
she
heated
clinked
commentary
glasses
with
that
her team.
perpetuated
"I'm
the
not
drama
finished.
and ensured
You
that the
deserve the
story
full
remained
truth.
in the public eye.
Watch your
Leaks of
inbox.
private
That name
conversations
is still
allegedly
had no face,
revealed playful
no voice,
strategic,
no identity,
and even
just
provocative
breadcrumbs of
interactions
betrayal
between
and a
Kirk
trail
and
of
Jasmine,
devastating truths.
which, whether authentic
She'd ignored
or
the previous
fabricated,
messages long
intensified
enough,
the spectacle.
but now,
providing
with her
fans and
docuseries
analysts
live,
with fodder
Kirk
for
exposed,
speculation
and Jasmine
about
slowly
manipulation,
slipping back into
emotional
the shadows.
gamesmanship,
Rasheeda didn't
and
want
the deliberate
to wait.
shaping of public
She was
perception,
done being blindsided,
further complicating
she
an
slipped into a
already
back
fraught
room of the
emotional
venue,
landscape,
away from
friends
the laughter
and family
and the DJ,
reportedly took
and opened
sides.
her laptop,
Some quietly
her
supporting
inbox was
Rasheeda,
flooded,
offering counsel,
mostly fan mail,
and attempting to
sponsorship
mediate,
offers,
while others
interview
remained
requests,
loyal to Kirk,
but
or
buried
hesitant
halfway
to
down the
intervene,
list was an email
creating
with
a
no
fragmented
subject,
household
no
where
name,
alliances,
just a single
loyalties,
attachment,
and
a video
perceptions
titled
shifted
Before the
almost
Baby.
daily.
She
Heightening the
hesitated for a
intensity
moment,
of each encounter,
heart-thumping,
and
before
feeding the
pressing
endless
play.
cycle of speculation
The video
and commentary
opened with
as
surveillance
rumors
footage
continued
dated
to
7
circulate.
months ago
The
before
story
Jasmine's
grew
baby bump
increasingly
was even visible.
labyrinthine.
The setting,
Incorporating
a
leaked
luxury
text,
hotel in
alleged
Midtown
private
Atlanta.
confessions.
There was
Extravagant
Kirk,
displays
walking
of
in
wealth
with a woman,
and public
not
confrontations.
Jasmine's.
Not the
Each
girl from the
element
club,
adding new dimensions
someone new
to the ongoing.
They held hands.
Saga,
Keeping
they
fans
kissed
in the
engaged,
elevator,
emotionally
then
invested,
Rasheeda's stomach
and
turned. They
perpetually
entered
guessing
the suite.
about the true motives,
2:14
feelings,
a.m.
and intentions
The video
of everyone
then cut to
involved.
security footage
Rasheeda,
from the
facing
hotel lobby
relentless
just
public
hours
scrutiny,
later,
appeared
Kirk,
to evolve
same
in real
clothes,
time,
disheveled,
learning to
exiting
navigate
alone.
the intersection of
but
personal
what followed
anguish
made
and public
Rasheeda's blood
narrative,
run cold.
demonstrating
A second
resilience.
clip,
this
strategic
time shot
acumen
from someone's phone,
and an awareness of the ways
Jasmine,
in which appearances,
wearing a hoodie and dark
perception,
sunglasses,
and performance
entered
could
the same
influence
hotel
not only
later
her
that
personal
same
life,
morning,
but the
according
collective
to the
understanding
timestamp,
of the
it was less
unfolding
than
drama.
6 hours
While
after
Kirk
and
had
Jasmine
left,
continued
and the
to
final
operate
blow,
with a blend
a
of calculated
screen-recorded
message
message
from
from
Jasmine's
Jasmine's
Instagram
Instagram
drafts
folder never
amplifying
posted.
the spectacle
He said
and
he'd
ensuring
leave
that
her.
the story remained
Jasmine
a focal
whispered to
point
the
of
camera,
discussion,
tears
debate,
in her eyes,
and fascination.
He said I was the only
interplay
one,
of private
but
pain,
now I know.
public performance,
I was just
fan
fan of his
interpretation.
game.
Rasheeda
And media
slammed the laptop
amplification
shut.
transformed
This
a single
wasn't just
luxury
about
car
betrayal
gift
anymore.
into a sprawling narrative
This was
of human
manipulation
emotion,
on a surgical
ambition,
level. power,
Kirk had
and
juggled
spectacle,
multiple women,
where every decision carried weight.
Every
action was amplified,
chaos,
and
with
every
himself at the
emotional
center,
beat became
the
part of
pain,
an intricate,
the confusion,
ongoing tableau
the
that
public
captivated
humiliation
audiences,
was all the fallout
divided
of
his
his
hunger
opinions,
for control,
and left no
but
participant
now his
untouched
game
by
was
the
falling
intensity
apart.
of the unfolding
Piece
drama.
by piece,
The story's
the next
complexity
morning,
only
Rasheeda
deepened
went
as
public.
new revelations.
She posted a calm
whether
but commanding
factual,
video to
speculative,
her. 12 million Instagram
surfaced,
followers,
creating
no
cycles
makeup,
of outrage,
no background
empathy,
music,
and
just her
anticipation
sitting
that
in front
propelled
of the
the
camera.
narrative forward.
I've been quiet,
ensuring that
I've
the
been
emotional,
graceful,
psychological,
but silence isn't
and social
always
stakes
strength.
remained
Sometimes
extraordinarily
it's
high.
survival.
With Rasheeda
And today,
navigating a
I'm
landscape
choosing to
fraught
stop
with
with
betrayal
betrayal
and start
heartbreak,
speaking,
and
the
public
internet
scrutiny.
exploded. Kirk asserting
The video
influence
racked
and
up
visibility
millions of
through
views in
calculated
minutes.
gestures and
Celebrities,
appearances,
fans,
and Jasmine
influencers,
solidifying
they all
her role as
reposted,
both catalyst
quoted,
and
praised
participant
her resilience.
in a saga that continued
Meanwhile,
to enthrall,
Kirk was
shock,
nowhere to be
and
found.
captivate audiences,
Reports
leaving a
swirled that he'd
legacy of
left
drama,
Atlanta,
speculation,
gone off the grid,
and fascination
One
that would
source
dominate
claimed he'd checked
conversations,
into a wellness
media
retreat
coverage,
in Arizona.
and fan engagement
Another
for months
said
to come,
he was hiding out with a
ensuring
cousin
that the
in
tale
South
of the
Carolina, but no one could confirm
luxury
anything.
car.
The
And
public
Jasmine,
humiliation,
she too,
and
went
the
radio
intertwined
silent.
lives of Kirk,
Her last
Rasheeda,
post
and
was
Jasmine
over 48 hours
one
full
of the
the
most
record
talked
for
about
someone who had turned her
dissected
timeline
and
into a
emotionally
soap opera
charged
stage.
stories in recent
That
reality
silence
TV
broke
history.
days later,
A
when
narrative
struck
that
against
blurred the
this
boundaries
time,
between wealth,
not just
power,
privately,
but
emotion,
publicly,
and
a
spectacle,
new account popped up on
captivating the
X,
public imagination,
ATL
and
_confessions,
transforming personal betrayal
first
into
post,
a cultural
a
phenomenon
carousel of
that kept
photos,
viewers hooked.
Kirk with at least
invested,
3 different women,
and endlessly
all
debating
dating,
the
all
ultimate
watermarked
outcomes,
exclusive,
consequences,
the caption,
and future
how many
decisions
women
of
does it
everyone
take to
involved.
destroy one
As the
marriage?
dust begins to
Ask
settle
Kirk
on
Frost.
this whirlwind of emotion,
Part 1 of 4.
scandal,
The
and
thread went
spectacle,
viral instantly.
one thing remains
Millions
crystal clear.
of retweets,
The saga
thousands
of
of
Kirk,
comments,
Rasheeda,
the women
and
in the
Jasmine
photos
is far from over.
One was a bottle
Fans
girl
are
from
still
a strip
reeling
club
from the
Kirk
shocking
frequented.
images of the
One was a backup
$250,000
dancer
from
from
a
a
music
luxury
video shoot
car.
in Miami.
The private
And the third,
confrontations,
shockingly,
the
was a
social
married
media
woman
storm,
who,
and the
cascading
cascading
rumors
rumors
that
that
have
have
left the
boutique.
Frost
The
household
betrayal
divided,
wasn't just
and the
personal,
public glued
it
to
was
every
professional.
detail. What started as a
Producers from
single
Love and
extravagant
Hip Hop
gesture
scrambled
has
to
now
adapt the new
snowballed into a
developments
narrative
into
of
the
betrayal.
storyline.
But
Loyalty,
Rasheeda was done
heartbreak,
playing
and
along.
high stakes.
She rejected
Emotional
their offer
warfare,
for a reunion
a story
special.
that captivates
This
because
ain't
it feels
a reality
larger than
show
life,
anymore,
yet intimately human.
she said flatly.
A reminder of
This
just
is my
how
life,
powerful perception
and I'm
can be
reclaiming
when wealth,
fame,
instead,
and personal
she launched a new
relationships
platform
collide.
reset, Diaries, a
Rasheeda's
web series
resilience,
created by
her
women,
courage to confront
for women,
pain,
to
and
share
her
stories
efforts
of
to reclaim
betrayal,
her narrative
healing,
resonate
and
deeply with
transformation.
viewers who have
The
witnessed
first
her
episode,
navigating
her own.
this labyrinth
The
of
second,
scandal,
an
with a
interview
mixture
with
of
Jasmine,
grace,
yes,
determination,
Jasmine,
and raw
teaser dropped
vulnerability.
unexpectedly.
Yet at the same
The
time,
screen fades from
Kirk's
black to the 2 women seated across from each other,
unabashed
Rasheeda
confidence,
poised,
his apparent
Jasmine,
disregard for
visibly
public
nervous,
opinion, and his
Rasheeda
ongoing
speaks
connection
first.
with Jasmine.
Let's get
add
real.
tension,
No more
unpredictability,
lies.
and
No
that
more
irresistible
performances.
pull of reality
Just the
TV
truth.
drama
Fans
that
were
keeps
stunned.
audiences talking,
Nobody expected
debating,
that
and
twist.
emotionally
For 2
invested.
women torn
in every
apart by
twist
one
and
man's
turn,
lies
the
to
lines
sit down
between
together
right and
on
wrong,
camera.
loyalty
It
and
was
betrayal,
explosive.
love and performance,
Social media was
have
instantly
blurred,
ablaze,
leaving viewers
Was
to
this
grapple
healing?
with their own
Was it
judgments,
exploitation?
loyalties,
Was
and
it genuine,
interpretations,
or just another
and that
PR
is
move?
precisely what makes
But
this
when the
story
full interview
so
aired,
compelling.
it was raw,
Imagine the private
honest,
moments
painful.
behind closed
Jasmine
doors,
admitted
where
everything.
whispered apologies,
I believed him.
strategic
I really
planning,
did.
and
When he
heart-wrenching confrontations
said you were cold,
unfold away from the
distant,
camera's
then
lens.
I believed
he was
Yet
telling the
somehow
truth.
leak into
I
public
didn't realize
consciousness,
I was just
fueling
another
a digital
piece on his
wildfire
board.
of
Speculation,
didn't flinch,
commentary,
and now,
and
she
passionate
asked,
debate.
Friends
Jasmine's
and
eyes
family,
welled with tears.
insiders,
Now
and
I
social
know,
media followers,
betters,
all
and I'm
have
sorry
opinions
for everything.
And each
The
new
internet
revelation,
couldn't handle
photo,
it.
or
Viewers
post
cried,
ignites
fans
conversations
apologized
that reach
forever
far beyond the
vilifying
Frost
Rasheeda
household,
or blindly
turning
defending
personal
Jasmine.
choices
The
into
truth
public
was messier
phenomena.
than sides.
It's not just about
the
a
villain
luxury
wasn't
car,
another
a
woman,
gesture,
it was Kirk,
or a relationship.
and for
It's
the first
about
time,
human emotion,
both women
amplified
saw it
through
clearly.
wealth, fame,
But even
and
as
media.
the dust began to settle,
About the tension
at
between
ATL
what is felt
confessions
and what is seen,
wasn't done,
and about how every
another
action,
thread dropped,
every glance,
remember the
every
girl
glance,
from Club
every
VIP.
social media
There's
story
more
can
to her
ripple
story.
outward,
Stay
influencing
tuned.
perceptions,
Hashtag
alliances,
Frost Files.
and
Hashtag
loyalties
part
in
two.
ways that are impossible
Rasheeda
to
saw
predict.
the tweet as she sat
In this
alone in her
sense,
dressing
the drama
room,
is not
preparing
contained.
for a new
It is
brand
living,
shoot,
breathing,
and this time
evolving,
instead of dread,
and it demands
she felt
conversation, reflection, and engagement. She whispered, "Fans are not just spectators; they are participants, commentators." She lost a marriage, but she found herself shaping how this story continues to unfold through likes, just beginning to come to life, reactions, and just like that, online discussion. The saga of Kirk, Frost, and Rasheeda, the question on everyone's mind remains, not because of another. What will Rasheeda do next? Another baby, rise above the heartbreak and reclaim her dignity with a silence that shakes the world? What started as a scandal became a revelation. What looked like another tired story between affection and provocation to reclaim her voice. And what role will Jasmine play as both fans around the world and participant in this high-stakes game of power? Anymore, they're saying, and
she doesn't
emotional
need him
theater.
back.
The answers
Kirk's
are far
empire
from
is in
simple,
shambles,
and the truth,
once the smooth
whatever
talking
it may
husband
be,
who
is
always
layered,
found his way
complex,
back into Rasheeda's
and
good
waiting
graces,
to be revealed in
he
the
now
coming
stands
weeks.
exposed
For fans,
not just as a
every
cheater,
social media
but as a
post,
man who built
every
a house of
paparazzi
lies
shot,
and expected his
every
wife
interview
to live inside
becomes
it
a clue,
forever.
a hint,
But Rasheeda,
a potential,
she's
turning
not just
point
surviving,
in a story
she's
that is
thriving.
as riveting
A
as
new
it is
brand,
unpredictable.
a new series.
This is not
A new
just
purpose,
entertainment,
and perhaps
most
most
is a
importantly,
live case
a new
study in
piece.
human emotion.
And what about
social
the
perception
mysterious
and the
informant who
magnetic
kept
pull of
dropping
reality
bombshells
TV
from the
drama?
shadows?
When personal
Their
choices
identity is
become
still
public
unknown,
spectacles and
private
private
heartbreak
heartbreak becomes a
theories are
conversation
flying.
for millions.
Is it a former
and here's
friend,
where you come
a
in.
scorned employee,
Your voice matters.
Jasmine herself,
Your opinion matters.
or someone
and
even
your
closer
engagement
to Kirk and
shapes the
Rasheeda than we all
conversation.
assumed?
Do you think
One
Rasheeda
thing's for
will
sure,
confront Kirk
they know
publicly,
more and
or
they're
will
not
she
done
take a more
talking?
strategic,
So now we turn
private
to
approach?
you. Are
What
Kirk
do you
and
think is
Jasmine's
next
actions
in this
audacious
wild
gestures
rollercoaster
of love,
or
calculated
lies,
moves of
and
provocation?
loyalty?
Will
How
Kirk
do you
finally
interpret the
speak up and
dynamics
come
at
clean
play
in this
Will
ever-evolving
Jasmine
saga?
disappear or clap
Drop
back
your thoughts
once
in
again?
the comments
And
below.
will it finally
Share
reveal
your
themselves
theories
with a
and
final
let your
truth
voice
bomb?
be heard,
Drop
because in
your
a
thoughts
story
in the
this
comments
dramatic,
below.
the
Do
audience
not
is as
forget
much
to
a
like
part of
this
the
video
narrative
if
as the
Rasheeda's
stars
strength
themselves.
inspired you.
Hit that like
and
button
hit that
if you've been
subscribe button,
captivated,
because baby
share
the
this
tea is
video
still
with friends
brewing.
who are hooked on
And trust
reality
us,
TV drama.
you won't want to miss
and make
what
sure to
spills
subscribe
next.
so you don't
Until
miss a
then,
single twist,
stay tuned,
turn,
because
or
an
shocking
Atlanta,
revelation
the drama
in this
never
ongoing
sleeps.
story.
But
Every
some
click,
fans,
every
especially
comment,
younger ones,
and every
rally
share
behind
keeps
her
you
bold
connected
attitude,
to the latest
claiming
developments
she was
and
simply
ensures you
refusing
remain
to be
part of the
shamed by a
conversation
narrative
as
that
this
men
saga
have benefited
continues
from
to
for
unfold.
decades.
So
The
stay
public was
tuned,
split.
stay invested,
Was Erica a
and
mastermind
keep your eyes
or
on the
just
Frost
messy?
household, because
Was she
the drama
living her
is far
truth
from
or
over.
breaking up a home for
Rasheeda's
clout?
courage and where was
Kirk's
Mendeece's
audacity
through all
and
this?
Jasmine's poise will
Rumors
continue to
swirled
collide
that he was
in
hiding
ways
out
that are
in Houston,
unpredictable,
staying with a
emotional,
cousin while
and
working
undeniably
on a private
captivating,
apology video
leaving
meant
fans
to be
around the
released
world
exclusively
watching,
on YouTube,
analyzing
the video,
and speculating
however,
with bated
never
breath.
surfaced.
This is reality
Instead,
TV
a
at
close
its most
friend of his
dramatic,
posted
most
a blurry
intense,
Instagram
and
story
most
from a
irresistible,
bowling alley in Texas,
and you don't want to miss a single
and sharpened
moment.
fans quickly
Engage,
spotted
comment,
Mendeece's
share
in the
and
background,
subscribe,
looking
because the
stressed,
story of
disheveled,
Kirk,
and glued
Rasheeda, and Jasmine is still being written, and you have a front row seat to every shocking, heart-stopping, and unforgettable twist.